Hello, good evening. Welcome to Sincil Bank, which is absolutely bouncing. It's 13th in League One, up against 7th of the Premier League. Lincoln against West Ham. It's a sellout. Plenty have made the trip up from the capital. We have got a big banner in the centre circle with young children holding that. All around it, we've got officials on this near side. We've got flags either side of the tunnel with the ball on the plinth. It has gone pitch black. The floodlights are in full effect. I can see Lincoln Cathedral and Lincoln Castle just away to my right. The scene is set. Are we going to see a giant killing, or are West Ham going to get the job done? I'm Lee Blakeman. Stephen Kelly is alongside me. That's the first question, Stephen. Good evening, my friend.
Yeah, the thing is, this team have done it once before in this competition, so you know what it takes to go up against Premier League opposition and get it done. West Ham are a different outfit, different side. They're bringing in players that, because they've got the European football now, they're going to be rotating their side. So they have a lot of players that are coming in looking to cement the place, the first team. They've got a great team now, the West Ham. But Lincoln are in good form, and they go into this in confidence. And like we said before, I know we managers don't like to say it, but it's a bit of a free hit. You're at home, you're against West Ham, you get out of traps quickly, and you try and make it happen.
9 matches in total in the third round of the EFL Cup tonight. You can catch Newcastle against Manchester City with Neil Lennon and Ian Dennis over on BBC Radio 5 Live. We've also got Liverpool, Leicester, Fulham, Norwich, Chelsea, Brighton, Brentford, Arsenal, Blackburn, Cardiff and Aston Villa, Everton. We will keep you across all of them. As far as West Ham are concerned, they've made 10 changes from the side that lost 3-1 at Anfield on Sunday. Thomas Souček is the only player who stays in the team. They go with Lucas Fabianski in goal, made his first start of the season in the Europa League win on Thursday. The back four, Thilo Kehrer, Angelo Ogbonna, Konstantinos Mavropanos and Maxwell Cornet. Then it's a 2 of Souček and Ben Johnson, a 3 of Mohamed Kudus, Pablo Fornals and Said Benrahma. Danny Ings plays up top as the lone striker. 10 changes, but no disrespect to any team in League One. That's a side more than capable of getting the job done.
Oh, the names in that team. Danny Ings has got bags of goals in him at every level. You see Benrahma, Kudus coming into the tournament. I think it's important matches to get under his belt for him. So, and then you throw Souček into that mix as well. So listen, it's not a weakened side by any case. It might not be their start 11, but the team that's more than capable of winning, and Lincoln are going to have to really put it up to them if they want to get something from this game.
All sides of Sincil Bank rise as the two teams take to the field. Lincoln wearing red and white, West Ham in all blue, led out by the captain tonight, who is Angelo Ogbonna. Behind him it's Lucas Fabianski, and then the rest of the West Ham team. They line up as we look just to the right of halfway. Lincoln just to the left. They make 2 changes, Lincoln, from the side that were narrowly beaten 2-1 at Portsmouth at the weekend. Jackson and Bishop both drop to the bench. Smith and Mitchell come in. So Lucas Jensen starts in goal, having joined from Burnley in the summer. They go with a back 3 of Sean Rowan, Powdy O'Connor and Alex Mitchell. The 2 wing backs are Jack Burrows on loan from Coventry and Lasse Sorensen. Then a midfield 3, Ethan Hamilton, Ali Smith and Ethan Errahan. Smith is going to play slightly forward of the other 2 with Rico Hackett and Hakeem Adelakan, the top 2 strikers. Adelakan traditionally a winger, but because of 3 injured strikers, he gets the nod in attack tonight. Far from ideal position for Mark Kennedy, the manager, to be in.
No, it's not ideal, but he's not a bad option to have. Bundles of pace getting behind, keen to impress, looking to make it a dent on this West Ham side. And Ogbonna, has got loads of experience, but he's not blessed with that much pace anymore. So that's probably an option that they could try and get him behind and force him back, and someone that they try and rely on. But listen, I know there's only 2 changes to the Lincoln side. They're confident, they're playing comfortable as a team. They understand, and the manager's been here a little while now. He's got them playing a good brand of football, and West Ham are going to have to really have their wits about them, have the full concentration. And it's all about it. When you're the Premier League team, you come to a team like this, there's no complacency can be needed, because Lincoln will feed off that and they'll get after them.
Joseph Anang is West Ham's substitute goalkeeper. Then on the bench, Sofal, Alvarez, Aguerd, Connor Coventry, Caelan Casey, Divine Mubama, Callum Marshall and Daniel Chesters. The two sets of players gathering around the edge of the centre circle. Officials and mascots just having their photos taken with the two captains on the halfway line. We are going to have a minute's applause here at Sincil Bank for legendary former Lincoln manager Colin Murphy, who recently passed away, guided the club to 2 promotions. He is thought of very, very fondly in this part of the world. The two teams just changing sides following the coin toss. So Lincoln will be defending the away end, West Ham attacking it when this game starts in the next few minutes. But first, we are going to have a moment's applause in memory of Colin Murphy.
It's sad to hear the passing of Colin Murphy a short while ago. Affectionately known as Murph, Colin had 2 spells at the helm here at the LNER Stadium. Between 1978 and 1985, Colin led us to promotion from Division 4 and then 6 back in the first year, the 3rd tier. Along the way, defeats of Leicester City away and a tight affair against tonight's opponents, West Ham United. Then in 1987 he returned to lead Murphy's mission back to the league, winning the GM Vauxhall Conference. Colin was a regular here at the LNER Stadium until very, very recently, and we will all remember those programme notes. Our condolences go out to Colin's family and friends. Please join us now in a minute's applause to remember one.
Football as a sport, football supporters at times take their fair share of criticism, but sometimes as a collective the sport just get things right. Impeccable applause for Colin Murphy, who led this club to 2 promotions.
Yeah, it really is, and you know, it's often in sport does get a bad rep, but they tend to look after their own. They really do.
Superbly done. It's going to be Lincoln to get this game started. Ethan Errahan stands over the ball in the centre circle. Lincoln kicking from right to left as we look at things, and away we go. It's live EFL Cup football on BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra. Lincoln against West Ham in the 3rd round of the competition. Stephen Kelly, formerly of Spurs, Fulham, Reading, Stoke and a whole host of other clubs, and myself, Lee Blake, with your commentary team with you here tonight. The ball goes out for a throw-in West Ham's left-back area. As I mentioned a few moments ago, they're kicking from left to right. David Moyes' team attacking the away Stacey West Hand in this first half. Lincoln come away with it, moving towards the edge of the West Ham area. Sorensen moves in there, cleared away, picked up by Errahan in the midfield. He moves it forwards to fellow Ethan Hamilton, and West Ham press and force Lincoln City back into their own half. They have it at centre half with Sean Rowan, shows good composure on the ball. Out to the left wing back on loan from Coventry, Jack Burrows. Lincoln enjoying some early possession in the opening minute here, and the atmosphere, as you can hear, is absolutely fantastic. Yeah,
they pressed West Ham really well, forced them into an error, and then they've just been happy to keep the ball. Start off by, West Ham are just getting hold of it, trying to move it out, but the first few moments is just easing each other into the game, testing each other, seeing what they have to offer.
Mark Kennedy, former Republic of Ireland international, in charge at Sincil Bank these days. He's barking his orders to the left of halfway as West Ham go all the way back to goalkeeper Lucas Fabianski. Not been a regular starter this season, with Areola being given the nod. And West Ham themselves now just playing a little bit of keep ball. Lost their last 2 in the Premier League, West Ham, but you have to give them a little bit of sympathy because those 2 defeats were away at Liverpool and at home to Manchester City, 2 sides who are expected to go head-to-head for the Premier League title this season. Before that, they'd won 3 in a row and sit 7th in the table.
Yeah, and again, in the Europa League campaign as well, which is going to stretch them physically, and it's a hard demand for the players travelling midweek and games on. But after winning the European competition last season for the first time, I look at they're trying to get success on every front, and they put a very strong side here to try and get that win.
Kerrer down the right, tried to thread in Maxwell Cornet, it's cleared away, but West Ham now come down their left with Ben Johnson, edge of the area, left side. Cross should be whipped in here. Lincoln trying their best to keep the ball out of the penalty area and do well. Souček takes over for West Ham, who are forced back into their own half here. Only a couple of minutes gone, but Lincoln so far deserve great credit with and without the ball, the way they've been set up.
Yeah, they have. You can see though they've dropped into a 5 now at the back, when West Ham have the ball. So if they start doing that really early on, West Ham are going to they're going to have decent possession of the ball because they can't really press. They're going to have to get those wing backs slightly higher, like now on that go, to try and receive the ball or press them high up the pitch, if that's what the tactic's going to be.
Mavropanos had it there on the edge of his own D. Ali Smith was in his face in an instant for Lincoln City. West Ham have it on their left, switch it to the right, looking for Cornet, well cut out on the chest of wing-back Jack Burrows, and West Ham will have it back on the edge of the centre circle. 0-0 on 5 Sports Extra. Lincoln and West Ham in the EFL Cup 3rd round. Newcastle Man City kicks off at 8 o'clock. That one's with Neil Lennon and Ian Dennis over on BBC Radio 5 Live. All the others 7:45s, and we will keep you up to date with all of them as the night progresses. We've already had a goal at Anfield where Leicester, would you believe, are ahead. Liverpool 0, Leicester 1. McAteer after just 3 minutes there. All of the other games are goalless, and the ball's gone out for a throw in here in the Lincoln left back area, taken by Sean Rowan. Started all games for Lincoln City so far this season. They can't make it stick in the midfield, and West Ham will come away from it with Ben Johnson, 23 years of age, came through the youth system at West Ham. Lots of these West Ham players tonight a big point to prove as they try and force a way into David Moyes' more regular plans.
Yeah, and the thing is that they're going to get loads of game time this season. When you're in Europe, you have to use your full depth of your squad, because that was travelling between, especially in the early stages of the competition. So they're playing here tonight. A lot of these players played last week in the Europa League game, but they don't drop in quality. They've got a very good squad at the moment. West Ham players playing at a really high level, and this team here is a team that's more than capable of causing Lincoln problems, but Lincoln have shown they've got resilience about them, and they can get at West Ham as well.
They intercept, have it on halfway, the home team, with Errahan, former Scottish under-21 international, tackled. Lincoln throw on the halfway line. 0-0, 5 minutes gone, and that's kind of how Lincoln will be viewing this game. 5 minutes at a time, 10 minutes at a time, get to midway point of the half, and then just keep reassessing and going from there.
Yeah, and listen, it's a packed stadium. As that game goes on, as they go deeper into the game, if they can, at the score being 0-0, the fans will get more excited, they get more buoyant. Every opportunity you're adding furrow into the final third, there'll be an excitement around the place. So they just have to keep West Ham at bay, but then force their own issue, force their own game on top of them as well.
Lincoln throw next to their own technical area to be taken by Hakib Adelakan, the winger come striker tonight because of the Lincoln City injury crisis here at Sincil Bank. 3 strikers out unavailable. They've got 5 waiting for Adelakan's long throw inside the West Ham penalty area, and it is a long throw towards the 6-yard line. Towering header away, put back in. West Ham deal with the second ball. Shot comes in from the edge of the area that time over the crossbar. Powdy O'Connor for a centre half caught that really well. Yeah, he caught it really well. Look, he just didn't get it to drop down quickly enough, but the pace and the trajectory of the long throw caused West Ham loads of problem. What the problem is with a long throw is it's dealing with the second ball, not clearing your lines properly, and it drops to him, and he connects with it really well, just can't keep it down. Arsenal 1-0 up at Brentford. Reece Nelson with a goal inside the opening 10 minutes there. West Ham on the attack here. 0-0 at Sincil Bank. Poor final ball cut out at the back well that time by Burrows, who keeps tucking in as a wing back for Lincoln, and the ball's high on the halfway line. West Ham looking dangerous on the counter already. Yeah, Benrahma, when he picks the ball up in those areas,
he's electric pace and he's so direct at running at players. So Lincoln are going to want to make him force him back early. Don't want them getting turned and run at you in those areas.
Lincoln wanted a free kick there for what looked like a foul by Ogbonna on Adelakan. Nothing doing, said referee Josh Smith. Sellout tonight here at Sincilbank, highlighted by the fact that there was a lot of traffic in the local area. Isn't that right, Stephen Kelly?
Just to say say the least. I think it just goes to show that a lot of people wanted to come to this game and get in their seats.
Long ball down the right. Cornet will get on the end of this for West Ham. He's onside, 6 yards from the byline, attacking the away end. Challenged. West Ham thought they'd got the game's first corner. I must admit we did too, but the decision goes the way of Lincoln City. Goal kick. Yeah,
the fans like that. Cornet, again, another player, West Ham, who's looking to, since he's come from Burnley, he's not really hit the ground running. Everybody had high expectations of him, but he's been a bit of a bit part player, but someone that is really exciting. And on those wings, they've got players with so much pace and dribbling ability.
There was a real buzz when I arrived at the ground today at around about 5 o'clock, 10 past 5. It was like all we needed was a few open boots and it would have been like the build up to an NFL game outside. It was like a carnival, loads of food trucks absolutely everywhere. It was like a disco outside, lots of people pumped for this one.
Yeah, well, it did smell really good when I came to the ground, the food.
Lots of grease, that's what I smelled straight away, but smelled absolutely divine. I haven't tucked into anything yet. Lincoln have got the ball inside their own half here with Errahan, moves it to the left. Burrows, who's seen a lot of the ball in the opening 8 minutes, plays the ball back. Lincoln will go long, headed away by West Ham and Mavropanos. Ball on the halfway line, good towering header forwards that time by Powdy O'Connor. Can Lincoln make it stick in the midfield? No, not quite, because Souček sticks in a foot and the pieces will be picked up by Kudus. 2 goals in last week's Europa League win. He's another one of those players with a point to prove. 2 goals last Thursday, a start tonight, and he's looking to force his way into Premier League plans ASAP.
Yeah, good player, Kudus. Brought in with that money, they had to replace that Declan Rice void, and they replaced it with 3 midfielders. And Ward Prowse, Kudus are a part of it, and he's someone that I've watched in European football for the last few seasons, and he's going to play a big part of West Ham's season this year.
It's a case of having to be patient though for West Ham's players, because a win on Sunday at Liverpool, had they managed to win that game, would have seen West Ham equal their best ever start to a Premier League season. 13 points from 6, that was 99-2000 season. Here come West Ham looking to take the lead here. Down the right with Cornet, edge of the area, left-footed cross. Lincoln with the answers defensively a little bit, not completely clear. Ball falls left side of the area. It's rolled back to Fornals in the midfield. Dispossessed, ball spins up into the air, and once again West Ham are forced back into their own half. 9.5 played, 0-0.
Yeah, it's good defending from Lincoln. Got good shape about them. Ball was switched out to Cornet, forced him back onto his left foot, and his delivery wasn't great, but then they recycle, they get shuffle, they get their shape right, forced him back all the way back to the goalkeeper.
Dogged is a way you could describe this Lincoln defending so far. They all know their jobs, but they've been beaten here by Kudus, cutting in from the right. Ball played forwards. West Ham move into the penalty area, couldn't quite pick out Ings or Benrahma that time, and Lincoln are able to clear and win themselves a throw.
Yeah, it was brilliant from Kudus though on this right hand side. Skips past 2 players, drives infield, and then picks up Benrahma, who just takes a bit of a sloppy touch last minute and can't get the shot away. Again, Lincoln bodies around them, close it down, making it tight and congested in the areas in around the box.
Goal at Craven Cottage. Fulham have taken the lead against Norwich. Fulham 1, Norwich 0, and at the same time Blackburn have just taken the lead in the All-Championship game against Cardiff. Blackburn 1, Cardiff 0. Here at Sincilbank, League 1 hosting Premier League. It's goalless after 10.5 minutes. Ball high inside the Lincoln half, headed forwards. Ali Smith looks to bring it down. Ball's worked to the left to Hakeem Adelakan. 2 West Ham players on him in a flash, one of whom was Cornet, the other was Mavropanos. Manages to make it stick. Ball left side of the centre circle, played back up towards Ali Smith again. Lincoln enjoying a little bit of possession, which we've not been able to say too much in the last 3 or 4 minutes or so. Forced back into their own half here with Sean Rowan playing left side of that back 3. 5 Sports Extra live from Sincilbank. That's a mistake by Rowan, and Cornet could be in here. He's pounced. Cornet into the area. He's got one arriving in support. Opportunity for West Ham, and Danny Ings, goalkeeper, smothers it. Second shot goes in. in. Good save again by Lucas Jensen to keep it goalless. Great double save.
Yeah, brilliant. Rowan gets caught, he just goes to take a touch, slips, falls over, corner goes through. He's really unselfish and he pulls across the Ings, but it's Jensen who comes down, smothers out and does extremely well.
Here come Lincoln on the counter, cross goes in, ball spins out of the ground, and Lincoln City have the game's first corner, having nearly got a goal down at the other end.
Yeah, a double save from Jensen, who comes out. Danny Ings takes one or two touches, probably one too many, smothers that one. Then it's Benrahma comes in and he gets out and makes a save off at the back of that as well. Really good play from Jensen, the goalkeeper, fast off his line to get out and cause them problems. But then they go right down the other end and get a corner.
Great double save. Danny Ings initially just couldn't quite get the ball placed right out of his feet. And let's see if West Ham are going to get made to pay here by the League One team. Corner, in-swinger from the Lincoln right. 5 waiting for this inside the penalty area. It's low towards the near post, headed away by the first man, who is Ben Johnson. And the ball's picked up by Lincoln on the edge of the centre circle. High to the left. Brought down that time by Ali Smith, but West Ham intercept. Will look to hit Lincoln on the counter, but that was good intercepting straight away that time by... who was that? I think that was Alex Mitchell tracking back actually for Lincoln. They go long, looking for Adelaken. West Ham are able to clear, but the clearance isn't too good. Ball loose in the midfield. West Ham will eventually come away with it in the form of Pablo Fornals. Johnson takes over down the left, moves it further forwards. West Ham to the edge of the penalty area, attacking the away end. Fornals again in the midfield. End to end for the last couple of minutes here. Kerrer on the right. Edge of the area, tries the 1-2. It works. Low ball played in. Lincoln will clear long to the halfway line. And if you are Mark Kennedy, you would be, barring the double save that your goalkeeper's just had to make, reasonably pleased in the opening stages.
Yeah, happy enough. You've had a few warning shots from West Ham, what they can do. Kudus in the middle of the park, and the two wingers look really lively. Danny Ings as well, but you're stifling them, and they have a very good shape about them, Lincoln, stopping those passes through the lines, nipping in, reacting well. But it's when he goes to the front three and needs to stick a little better. But Smith is working so hard on his left hand side.
Everton 1-up at Villa through Garner. Souček comes forwards for West Ham, edge of the centre circle. Ings back to goal midway inside the half. Back to Souček once more. West Ham playing a little bit of keep ball here. Fornals, ball out to the left. Benrahma's out there, cross whipped in, cleared away first time by Lincoln. Red and white striped shirts, black shorts, red socks with a white hoop on the top. West Ham have it back right side of the midfield. Here's Kerrer, edge of the area. West Ham starting to move through the gears. Opportunity for 1-0. Shot goes in that time. Appeals for handball waved away as Kudus had his shot blocked.
Yeah, as he gets fired in, Kudus' first touch is brilliant. He just tries to open himself up at the second one and get the shot away. And to be fair, Lincoln, 3 bodies in around it, all diving on the round to try and get the block in. And again, they stop the shot hitting the target.
Quarter of an hour played at Sincil Bank, no goals. They're just underway over on 5 Live and BBC Sounds at St James's Park. Newcastle against Manchester City with Neil Lennon and Ian Dennis. Mavropanos has the ball at the back for West Ham, works it to the right to Kerrer. We'll bring you all the news of the 4th round draw later, by the way. Takes place 10:15 tonight. Manchester United amongst the teams booking their place last night. Lincoln and West Ham looking to join them. Ball loose on the halfway line. Lincoln will come away with it. Lasse Sorensen's header forwards, brought down by Rico Hackett, whose name we've not mentioned so far. First touch was poor, and here come West Ham on the counter with Benrahma, cutting in from the left on his right foot. Forwards to Ings, tries the 1-2. Lincoln wise to the situation and will clear high into the centre circle. You do feel the first goal at the moment, the way this game's panning out, is going to come via a counter-attack. It's just a matter of which way is it going to go.
Yeah, it is. Lincoln, when they clear in the danger, if they can just have a little bit more quality getting up the pitch, instead of scrapping or slashing it away, if they can just get their head up and find one of the players, because what West Ham are doing is they're flooding bodies forward and they're leaving 2 at the back. You know, there could be an overload there.
Cardiff are level at Ewood Park, 1-1. This one goalless. The only other goalless games, Chelsea Brighton and Bournemouth Stoke. Ball out for a West Ham throw, 20 yards from the corner flag on this near side, the West Ham right. Kerrer to take it, looking for a little bit of movement. Every single West Ham supporter behind the goal that their team are attacking on their feet. Those that are able to stand are. Ball on the halfway line as they go back to Ogbonna, wearing the armband. Mavropanos. Tempo just going down just a couple of notches here. West Ham will have one eye on the home game against Sheffield United Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock. Follow it all with the usual goal service here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Ball goes out for a West Ham throw on the halfway line. Mavropanis has it again. Live from an absolutely rocking Sinsel Bank. Here's Souček. Back to goal, edge of the centre circle, loses it, and here come Lincoln City on the counter with Ethan Hamilton. Checks, works it onto his left foot, moves over the halfway line. He's got runners either side of him. Can he pick one out, or is he going to run down a blind alley here? Does well to keep hold of the ball and works it back to Alex Mitchell. They lose it in the midfield. Sloppy that from Lincoln.
It was, because he had a guy's head up. Paddy O'Connor on the left hand side had pulled into a great position. No one would have picked him up from West Ham.
And here they come, cutting in from the left. Ben Rama to the byline, checks, right-footed cross. Lincoln again with the answers defensively. This time it's the former Stoke City youth player Lasse Sorensen tracking back. And here goes Sorensen on the counter. It's two forwards here for Lincoln. West Ham starting to get back in their numbers quickly. Shot's going to come in from distance. Straight down the throat that time, though, of Lucas Fabianski. It was Rico Hackett who had Lincoln City's first shot on target.
Yeah, great strike. Sorensen in the right did really well. He's getting his head up and you think he's going to cross it. I'd have just intercepted it again here, driving forward.
West Ham lose it again. Errahan will have a shot. Blocked, deflect, corner number 2 for Lincoln.
Yeah, that's two great attempts to him. Sorensen got the right initially down the right hand side, does really well. You think he's going to whip it in, but he cuts it back to the edge and back to Hackett, who takes his first touch. He could have gone for the pass, be up for the shot, keeps it low, tests the goalkeeper, and then they win it back really quickly again to get a second strike on and force the corner.
One goal this season already, Lasse Sorensen, who was at the half of that first move forwards. I saw quite a lot of him when he was coming through the system at Stoke. Obviously a youth player at the time. He was one of those players who'd either be really effective or really, really quiet. So far tonight, he's looking lively wide on the right. Yeah,
the wing-back position seems to suit him because I think defensive sometimes, from what I've seen, lacks a little bit, but going forward, he's got that drive and energy.
5. Waiting for this in-swinging corner from the Lincoln left to be taken by actually the aforementioned Lasse Sorensen. Referee Josh Smith just deals with something he wasn't too happy with inside the penalty area. Sorensen's in swing it. In it comes with pace towards the near post. Headed away well that time by Johnson for West Ham. Out for a Lincoln throw, 12 yards from the corner flag. But that's 2 corners which have been sent in by the League One team. Neither have cleared the first man.
No, yeah, you can see they're trying to hit Hackett on a near post, but it's just gone over them. West Ham have a man position right in the front post and he's just heading away. You either hit the front man who's yours, or else you have to clear that West Ham player and get it into the mixer.
They do have the weapon that is the Adelakan long throw. Here it comes again towards the penalty spot, again met by a West Ham head, wearing all blue tonight, David Moyes' team. Kept in wide on the Lincoln left by Adelakan, loses possession. It was 2-on-1 there. Here come West Ham on the counter. They've got 4 forwards here. One side, Ben Rama. Has he beaten the offside trap? Yes, he has, and does really well actually to keep the ball in play over on the far side. West Ham go long, over the top. Poor ball forwards by Ben Johnson. Goal kick Lincoln, and we've had 20 minutes at Sinsel Bank. Stephen Kelly.
Again, that was actually poor from West Ham. Kudus, who's been excellent to this point, when he gets his head up, Ben Rama is in acres of space on the left hand side, and to be honest, if he puts the ball more towards the goal, he's going to put him through, but he overhits it, puts it up in the air, puts it behind them, forces West Ham back, and then they end up just putting a long ball forward and put away. But there was a great opportunity to put Ben Rama in.
Lincoln 2-0 winners in round 1 of this competition. They took a Premier League scalp in the last round, winning at Sheffield United on penalties. Last season lost in round 4 of the competition, actually 2-1 at Southampton, you might remember. So they've enjoyed a little bit of a run in recent years in this competition, looking to make it through to round 4 for the second successive season tonight. At the moment, you have to say, not much to choose between the two teams as Lasse Sorensen heads the ball forwards down the Lincoln right, out for a West Ham throw.
Yeah, not to be fair, Lincoln had 2 strikes on goal, decent efforts. West Ham have looked dangerous in the final third, but just lacking a little bit of composure. And Lincoln have, setting up. They've got the back 5 in place. It's making it hard for West Ham to break them down.
Ball midway inside the West Ham half. We mentioned West Ham looking to bounce straight back from that 3-1 defeat at Liverpool on Sunday. Unbeaten in their first 4 in the Premier League, drawing the first and then winning 3 in a row. Looking to rediscover some of that form. Good win in the Europa League last Thursday. Caught a little bit of that when I was covering Liverpool at Lask in Austria. Caught a bit of the West Ham game afterwards. Decent performance in a much changed David Moyes team. It's a much changed side tonight. Only Souček remains from the Liverpool game in the starting 11. Here comes Kerrer bursting forwards, ball to the edge of the area, couldn't quite be taken in the stride that time of Kudus. Lincoln clear, but it's going to be picked back up on the right. Cross whipped in. Lincoln don't deal with this one. Nearly found its way to Ben Rama wide on the left. He's going to keep the ball in play over on the far side. Couldn't quite move further forwards enough to get a shot away. Ball on his right foot, edge of the area, forced back 20 yards from goal. Ball midway inside the half now, played over the top. Cornet wasn't expecting or wasn't anticipating the run that time, and behind it goes for a goal kick. 0-0 midway point of the first half.
You can see Fornell saying get in there, but to be honest, it was actually just a bad ball. There was too much height on it. It wasn't going to ever, Cornet was never going to get on the end of that cross. But the first ball in initially that caused him the problems was whipped in with pace across the middle of the 6-yard box, but no one was flying in. They weren't flooding the box, West Ham.
Elsewhere in this competition tonight, the state of play: Bournemouth 0, Stoke 0, Everton 1-0 up at Villa thanks to Garner, one apiece in the All-Championship game between Blackburn and Cardiff. Arsenal are 1 up at Brentford, goalless at Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Brighton. Fulham leading Norwich 1-0, it's goalless here, and Leicester still lead by a goal to nil at Anfield. 10 minutes gone in the 8 o'clock game, Newcastle against Manchester City. That one's goalless and live for you right now over on BBC Radio 5 Live. West Ham with the ball on the halfway line with Mavropanos. Can Cornet get on the end of that little pass forward? No, he can't, because once again Lincoln with the answers defensively through Burrows. West Ham pick the ball up left side of the centre circle with Ben Johnson. He's got Ben Rama wide of him. Is he going to go back to Fornells? No, he's going to pick out Ben Rama, who sends in another cross, and for about the 5th time in a row, West Ham's final ball after decent looking build up has been awful.
Yeah, to be fair, from that left hand side you've got 2 right foot players playing on the left hand side, and they're coming back on the right foot and they're trying to whip in that far post, and they're just overhitting everything. And I'm sure Moyes is going to get won't be happy with that delivery into the box, because that time they actually had players in the box and he's just fired over. I said real lack of quality, and not that they don't, or not that they can't deliver it, it's just at the moment it's been poor.
If you're breaking the game down into quarters, midway point of the first half, 0-0, first test for Lincoln passed. You always wonder when you come and cover games like this, is it going to be a contest, or is it going to be all one-way traffic in favour of the Premier League side? We've got a game on here at the moment.
The thing is with Lincoln as well, when you have players like Ben Rama that are just firing balls over the top like that, you're going to grow in confidence because you think they're capable of making mistakes. Not every time they deliver is going to be pinpoint, but you don't want to fall into a false sense of security as well, because that one moment that you give them a chance, they can punish you. But Lincoln have been excellent to this point.
Fornells forwards on the turn, picked up by Souček in the midfield, cleared away by Lincoln, picked up by Lasse Sorensen wearing shirt number 2 over on the far side, the Lincoln right. Ball cannons off a West Ham player. Lincoln pick it up inside the centre circle again with Ethan Hamilton, keeps it moving, moves it to the left. Jack Burrows, the Coventry loanee, back to centre half Sean Rowan inside his own half. Here's Erahan, who had that shot from distance a few moments ago. Burrows wide on the left. Is that a foul by Cornet? Yes, says referee Smith. Free kick to the home team, wide on their left, midway inside West Ham territory, right in front of the Lincoln City dugout. There'll be absolutely no grass left in that technical area before much longer. Mark Kennedy must have covered more ground than half the players.
And I'll cover more than as a player when he was a player as well, I think. No, but he's up, he's telling them, he's instructing them. You know, I think that's the type of manager he is. He's energetic from the side, he's passionate about his team, how they play. But this is a really good position. You can whip it in. West Ham have a high line. That it's on for delivery. Just whip in behind that back line and have someone come stay on side and go attack it. Too far for the goalkeeper to come.
Hamilton to take the free kick. 7 queuing up on the edge of the D, wearing Lincoln red and white. Hamilton's low delivery again doesn't clear the first man. The set pieces tonight from Lincoln City have been poor so far. This time they're forced to settle for a throw midway inside the half over on the far side. Must do better when it comes to corners and free kicks.
Yeah, you can see with Tronas, the delivery of the ball was probably a bit more height, and it beats that first man, then it's in behind the defence, but he just didn't get it enough power, enough height on it.
Adelaiken with another one of those delectable long throws, wipes the ball on his shirt. He's going to need to get some power in this one because he's at the midway point of the half, as I say. Short run up at the edge of the pitch here. It's a long throw there, reaches the penalty spot, goes all the way through, opportunity, and it's in! But the offside flag goes up. The offside flag goes up and it's not going to stand. Alex Mitchell was arriving at the back post. He got the tap in. Initial ball wasn't dealt with. Mitchell thought he'd scored. Not to be, according to the assistant referee.
Again, West Ham have not looked comfortable dealing with that long throw. It comes in, skips past everyone, gets to the far post, and to be fair, Hamilton has the shot, I think, and he scuffs his shot, doesn't connect it properly, and it kind of trundles towards the far post, and then he gets tapped in, but from an offside position. But the initial chance from Hamilton, if he gets that, catches that properly, he just has to hit the target.
That's one shot over the crossbar. Oh, and Fabianski's got himself into a bit of trouble here. He was closed down very quickly by Rico Hackett. Thought he got more time. Hackett was on him in a flash. Goalkeeper just about dealt with it. Lincoln now have the ball inside their own half. One shot over, one shot saved by Fabianski, and one goal disallowed for what looked like from up here a narrow offside call. Here's Hackett again, moves the ball back into the midfield. He's got Burrows making a run to his left, has Hamilton here, moves it to his right. Sorensen with the cross, headed away well by Mavropanos. 0-0, Lincoln City and West Ham United. 27 minutes of the game gone here on 5 Sports Extra. Ball long down the right. West Ham head the ball out for another throw, and we all saw what happened from the last one from Adelaide. And
you can just see the crowd are up now. Lincoln's tails are up. They've had that little moment, a 5-minute spell where they've been on top. They've created a couple of chances, and like I said, every time they've got this long throw away into a decent area, it's caused West Ham problem. You think they would deal with Souček in there, you think he'd go and win that, but they've not been comfortable.
We thought we'd got drama. We did have drama, but it didn't end in the way that Lincoln had hoped. Another long throw, in it goes. West Ham being tested at the back severely. That was a good header away that time, well read by Ben Johnson doing his bit defensively. Is the ball going to trickle out for a throw in on the far side? Yes, it is, but it's another one midway inside the half in Lincoln's favour, and somebody who grew up in Stoke-on-Trent. I was very used to Rory Delat. We're getting a small little type of cameo here.
Yeah, I played in Stoke with Rory and I know all about this. So, yeah, I think his arms are getting tired now. That's 3 or 4 in a row, so I think it's slightly getting less each time, but it's still causing problems.
Here he comes again, Adelaide, and you can tell his arms are getting tired. That one's only just reached the 18-yard line. Ball over the top. Opportunity this time, hit over the crossbar by Ali Smith. It just wouldn't fall kindly. He let it bounce once, was lining it up on his left foot and snatched at it wide.
It's almost an identical position to the last chance they had when Hamilton snatched at it, didn't catch it properly. This time Smith, he's waiting for it to drop and it takes its time to come down to him, but he hits it and he just snatches, puts it over the bar. But it's another real good opportunity for Lincoln.
Early on in the game, where West Ham were just keeping a lot of the ball, it kind of felt like, when it comes to a game to watch and a game to commentate on, that we were going through the motions just a little bit, waiting for West Ham to score. Good double save by Jensen to keep the game at 0-0, and since then that's inspired the Lincoln City team, and we have got one hell of a contest on our hands now.
But even to just now, so when do you ever see a Premier League team smash a ball the full length of the pitch to the opposition goalkeeper? Fabianski had his team lined up to pass it inside the penalty area and then decides I'm going to put it long, gives it straight back to the goalkeeper, and the Lincoln fans are loving it.
Ball with Ali Smith in the Lincoln midfield, plays it to the right. Good header away by West Ham. Souček can't keep hold of it in the midfield though, and the home team have it back. Here they come, looking to pick out Sorensen wide on the right. He's got it now, receives it well from Hackett. Ball in field, opportunity for Ethan Hamilton. Shot deflects, takes the pace out of it, and it's easy for Fabianski to claim. Bowls it out quickly, Fabianski. Puts Kudus into a little bit of trouble there, but he dealt with it well, and West Ham will come away with it this time down their left. 0-0 at Sincil Bank. Half an hour played here on 5 Sports Extra from the BBC.
I was waiting how long it would take for that chant to come out. The Premier League, you're having a laugh every time.
Sold out this stadium tonight. They thought they'd edged in front. Alex Mitchell's goal disallowed for an offside by the assistant over on the far side. We've got the old-fashioned stanchions to deal with here, just to make things a little bit complicated. Looking at that goal away to our left, it looked a narrow call from where we are sitting on the opposite side to the assistant who put his flag up. West Ham on the halfway line with Konstantinos Mavropanos and now Ogbonna back to his centre-half partner. West Ham going with a back four of Kera, Ogbonna, Mavropanos and Cornet in front of goalkeeper Fabianski, if you've joined us late. Then it's Souček and Johnson, then Kudus, Fornells and Benrahma behind the main striker Danny Ings, still searching for his first goal of the season. Ball on the halfway line. West Ham just playing a little bit of keep ball. Clever play really from David Moyes' team. Moyes has been alarmed enough to move onto the edge of his technical area here. They're just trying to take away this little bit of link and sting.
Yeah, but you know what? They're trying to take the sting away. They're moving the ball across the back four, but Lincoln's shape is excellent. They're just dropping back in. It's a back five, 2 midfielders, and the three are just sitting back. So they're trying to keep the ball in front of them. But every time West Ham push the ball around the area, they're just shifting across, back into shape, cutting off passing lanes. They're very well drilled.
You can't help but follow the ball in this game. You can't take your eyes off it. It's a great watch. Smith's ball to the right. Can Hackett get on the end of it? Tried his best, never really had it fully under control. West Ham clear, but the ball's back with Ethan Hamilton. 30 yards out, tries the shot, takes a deflection. I would have liked to have seen what would have happened had that not deflected. Fabianski moves out of his area right side, brings the ball back in. They're not afraid to try one from range.
No, and Hamilton especially, every time he's opened up on that left foot, he's playing on the right side of the midfield, but he's left-footed. Sorensen has fed him a couple of times, and he's caught it, and each shot has taken a deflection, but they've been travelling, and they look like they've been hitting the target as well.
Those are the thoughts of Stephen Kelly with us here on BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra. Ball long from Mavropanos down the West Ham right. Lincoln once again with the answers in the air and then on the ground. Couldn't quite make it stick that time. Ali Smith on halfway. And now here come West Ham down the centre of the field. Cornet to the right. Works the ball from his right foot onto his left. Sends in the cross. Headed away well by Lincoln. Souček lets it bounce once. Bad error. Misjudged it. Kudus was in support to help him, but instead West Ham have been forced all the way back to Fabianski on the edge of his D. Gives it straight to Ogbonna, and now Mavropanos will build again from the back. 33 minutes gone. All the noise you can hear at the moment being made by the Lincoln City supporters.
The problem with West Ham at the moment is both Cornet and Benrahma, when they've received the ball, they've checked back onto their front and then tried to whip it in from that way instead of being behind, where there's been times where they should just whip it in.
Kudus does well, turns away from his man and feeds in Cornet. Great chance here, right side of the area. Good defending that time to deflect the ball behind for West Ham's first corner. Rowan stuck with his man. Yeah,
Rowan did stick with him. Again, Kudus, he's been the best player from West Ham. Receives the ball in the half turn, drives forward, gets his head up, attracts the man, and then plays the pass to Cornet really well time. And then Cornet's one-on-one in the box, but Sean Rowan does really well. Young Irish defender in 21s with Ireland stands his ground.
If you were watching Kudus for the first time, you'd look at him and say, got a trick. That'd be the first thing you'd think, as the corner gets ready to be sent in. An in-swinger from the West Ham right in front of the away end. And it goes, and the goalkeeper has to palm that over his crossbar. Kudus nearly put it straight in.
Yeah, goalkeeper sees it a little bit late. It's just bending back towards that top corner. And to be fair, he just watches all the way, does well, and tips over the bar.
It'll be same again from Kudus. Another in-swinger from the West Ham right. Blackburn have just retaken the lead against Cardiff at Ewood Park. Blackburn 2, Cardiff 1. Quick corner! Keeper nearly caught out at his near post. Kudus tried a quick shot, played a 1-2 from the corner with Fornals, but Lucas Jensen watched that one all the way.
Yeah, Jensen and Kudus. I think this is like a half shot, half cross. He's trying to just feed it into that near post.
West Ham's third corner in the space of 90 seconds. A couple of Lincoln players have gone down here on the penalty spot, both of them. One of them holding their face. I'm not quite sure what's happened in there. We don't have the benefits of on-screen replays here at Sincil Bank, but
it looks like both of them are holding their heads. I think they just clashed together. Bit of movement in the box, and it's coming together of the two Lincoln players.
Just delays the taking of this corner. 10 minutes to go until half-time, 0-0. Referee Josh Smith happy for play to continue. Kudus lines this one up. There'll be no short one this time because Fornals is being marked. Whips it into the 6 yards area. Cleared away well by Lincoln. Benrahma gets there first. Ball back out to the right to Kudus. Benrahma wants it back, but Kudus sends in a deep cross. And we mentioned this about 10 minutes ago. Lincoln's set pieces haven't been great. West Ham's final ball on numerous occasions has been shocking.
It is. It's amazing. Every time the players either on the right hand side come back on the left foot or on the left hand side come back, they've just overhit those crosses way over the top, not giving their forwards any chance of getting on the end of them and just putting them out and giving Lincoln a goal kick.
Half time on its way. The grease that Stephen was referring to earlier on his way into the ground, just wafting across the press box here. The first smell I was actually praising earlier was your aftershave, believe it or not. Through ball here. Now, Lincoln moving to the area. Rico Hackett with a chance on his left foot. Never really had it fully under control. And it was easy for Fabianski at his near post to make the smother.
But Lincoln, again, a long ball up. West Ham don't deal with it. I think it's Smith receives it a little bit, gets his head up, and he puts Hackett through, and it's a really good ball. Tries to come back on his left foot, and it's really tight under his feet, so he can't generate the power he wants to get. But they're just causing problems on that side. Ogbonna doesn't have the pace, I don't think, to stick with them. Before
we came on air, Chris Coles, who's doing the reports for BBC Radio 5 Live tonight, he just went, "You've worked with Stephen Kelly a few times, haven't you?" I went, "Yes." He went, "What's he like?" I just went, "Excellent aftershave." The first thing that comes to mind. Forget his track record as a footballer and the fact that he played for my boyhood team. Excellent aftershave. As West Ham come forwards down the right with Kerr. Tries the 1-2. Again, Lincoln wise to the situation and will clear down their left. Ball goes out for a throw in right in front of David Moyes, who was desperate to get involved there, but Souček said, "No, Gaffer, leave that one to me and we'll get moving in a hurry." 0-0. They are in a hurry because they'll want to take the lead before half time ideally.
Yeah, it's difficult because West Ham have an overload in the middle of the park as well, and you think that's where they dominate, but they've struggled to find the ball. It's when they find Kudus is when things really start to happen, but they're just not getting it to him often enough in those high areas.
The travelling couple of thousand from East London, nothing to cheer so far. Cornet, there might be a chance here. Back to Kudus, 25 yards out to the right of centre, keeps it moving to the left. Ben Rama's out there again, little shuffle, right-footed cross. Dealt with just about by Lincoln. Is Cornet going to let this one go out for a throw? Couldn't take the chance. We're not quite sure what was going to happen there. It looked like it was going to hit the flag. So Cornet keeps it in play, but he's boxed in by that corner flag. Goes back down the line to Kerr, who's got time and space midway inside the half. And West Ham, once again, will keep things moving right to left. Ogbonna. Johnson takes over and plays the ball forwards to Fornals in the midfield. Here's Ben Rama wide on the left. Ball from his left foot onto his right. 7 minutes to go until half time. 0-0 at Sincil Bank. Lincoln with a goal ruled out for offside. Alex Mitchell thought he'd scored. Mavropanos has it now right side of the centre circle. Ogbonna will join in commentary of the closing stages of the first half at St James's Park, where it's currently Newcastle 0, Manchester City 0 when the half-time whistle goes here. Here's Johnson. Moves into the area left side again. Well defended by Lincoln, and West Ham will start the next phase of play with Mavropanos once more. He's seen a lot of the ball, the right-sided centre-half so far. He's been effective at the back.
Yeah, he is. It's at the moment now, Lincoln have just dropped back into a full team just in their own half, trying to just squeeze West Ham, keep their shape, force them into pushing it wide, not letting them come down the middle. And it's, this will tell its toll, because it's when you have to win it back then you don't have the bodies, but now they're going to break.
Yeah, West Ham lose it in the midfield, and here comes Rico Hackett. He's got no support, gets some now from Lasse Sorensen, beats his man who's Fornals. Sorensen to the edge of the area right side, ball gets away from it, goal kick. The decision given by the assistant referee, much to the annoyance of the home sections of the crowd.
Yeah, Sorensen though does brilliantly initially, because like I said, they're lacking numbers, those forward areas, when they do win the ball back, because they're deep. So he's scampering forward to try and get in, and he just overtakes his touch. He's furious that the linesman has to get it, but to be honest, I actually think he touched the last touch.
When we were talking about Kudus for West Ham a few moments ago being one of those players who's obviously got a trick, you'd say the same thing for Lasse Sorensen wide on the Lincoln right. Nice drop of the shoulder and quick turn there.
Yeah, he just lets the ball run, and he thinks then he's got the better, but Johnson does well to get back and just shepherd him out.
Surprise scoreline elsewhere in this competition so far tonight. Leicester still leading by 1-0 at Liverpool. They've led since the 3rd minute, the Championship team at Anfield. Here comes Kudus looking to give West Ham the lead here. That's a foul surely by Errahan. It was, but the referee Josh Smith plays the advantage. Ball to the left to Ben Rama, edge of the area, right foot, ball in. Once again Lincoln head the ball away. Mavropanos plays it back forwards. Cleared by Lincoln once more. Fornals will take over inside the centre circle. Final 5 minutes of the first half here on BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra. Adelaiken, he's been quiet in the last 10 minutes, and that's a poor pass. Gives it straight to Johnson, and West Ham have 5 forwards here. Johnson with a through ball, couldn't quite pick out Kudus, and again, even though it was sloppy from Adelaiken, Lincoln got players back quickly, and now it's their turn to counter. Here they come with Ethan Hamilton, dead centre in the West Ham half, moves it to the left. Hakeem Adelaiken, edge of the area, couple of step overs, cuts in onto his right foot, forced to roll the ball back to Ethan Errahan. Now Ali Smith will take over. In it goes! Great save by Fabianski to deny a point-blank header. It was a great cross by Smith in the first place. Header, back post. It was right down the throat of Fabianski, but it came at him. Federico Hackett with so much power, he did really well to get that up into the air.
I think he should score there. He's going to be kicking himself. This is a wonderful ball in from Smith. Just stands up. He's up early. He gets his head right.
Here they
wonderful
come again. Sorensen's cross, and it couldn't quite be directed goalwards that time by Adelaken, wide of the far post.
Fabianski does. It's a great save. It's point blank. But all it has to be is either side of the goalkeeper. If he just doesn't catch with it as well as he does and put it straight down the middle, it's a goal. It's a wonderful bit of play from Lincoln down this left-hand side. Smith stands the ball up perfectly. They get that chance, and then it comes again. Sorensen whips in the ball, and this time it was Adelaken. He was getting across the near post, and he tries to just tip it into the far corner. Just doesn't get a clean enough connection on it, but they're causing West Ham loads of problems.
Not for the first time tonight. We thought Lincoln City had taken the lead. A fantastic header by Hackett. The only thing you could criticise of the number 7 was that it was straight down the throat of Fabianski. Otherwise, perfect. And like you just singled out, what a ball by Smith in the first place.
Yeah, but the build-up play was excellent. They work her really well. It looks like the chance is gone, and then they finally get out. Oh, here's Danny Ings in on goal here.
Ings played through, he's got plenty of support. It's Danny Ings for West Ham, and he puts it wide from 8 yards. That's West Ham's most clear-cut chance of the half so far. 42 and a half on the clock. At the very least, he should have been testing Lucas Jensen there.
He is, to be fair. Ings, great feet when he initially feels the ball, just little chop inside, sends Mitchell the wrong way. He goes flying across, but then he's through and goal 1-on-1. And a player of Danny Ings' calibre, you expect him to hit the target there, but he just pulls his shot wide. Jensen comes out, spreads his body, makes it difficult, makes it a big target, but he's got to hit the target there.
Goal kick to Lincoln as we approach the end of what has been a truly exhilarating first half. Chances at both ends, but more chances have gone the way of Lincoln by an absolute mile. Shot from distance over the bar, shot from distance from Errahan, saved by Fabianski, point blank header saved by Fabianski, and Mitchell with a goal disallowed for offside too. The chances have come for Lincoln, but their manager, he's an experienced guy, Mark Kennedy. He'll know what happens if they don't take one sooner rather than later against a side of West Ham standard. Well,
you normally feel that a team that operates in the Premier League, they get 1 or 2 chances and they'll take one of them. They've had a great chance there with Danny Ings, and to be honest, I think he's taken it on the wrong foot. As he comes across, he should probably hit it with his left.
West Ham lose it again in the midfield, and here's Ethan Hamilton, turns away from trouble, but because Lincoln have got a man down in the form of Errahan, it just took a little bit of sting out of the attack. They go long this time. Offside flag goes up over on the far side. Final minute of the half here on 5 Sports Extra. Somehow 0-0, and like you, Stephen, I was convinced, right foot or wrong foot, Danny Ings was going to make that 1-0 West Ham and hit Lincoln with a sucker punch.
You know what, initially his feet at the start were brilliant, just a little chop inside, send the defender Mitchell flying across. But then when he comes in, the ball's kind of underneath him on his right foot, and I think he has to hit with his left to get it back across goal, but he still goes with his right, a stronger foot, and he pulls it wide.
Long ball looking for the head of Cornet. Lincoln headed away. They just need to stand firm at the back for the final minute plus stoppage time. Kudus works the ball into Souček in this, we must stress, must changed West Ham team. Souček, the only survivor from Anfield on Sunday. Ben Rama wide on the left, edge of the Lincoln box, goes back to Johnson in the midfield. Referee has to move quickly to get out of the way. Johnson tries a shot from some 30 yards out, and it went about 30 yards over.
Yeah, listen, Lincoln will take that all day. If the left back is shooting from 35 yards and there's like loads of bodies between him and the goal, the chance of that in the back of net are slim. But you know what, Lincoln have played really well at times in the other forward areas. They try to get bodies forward. Yeah, they've got 5 at the back, they've deep midfield and forward line, but when they have got forward, the front 3 have really operated well and caused West Ham a lot of problems.
1 additional minute at the end of the first half here. How very 2022 as the goalkeeper Lucas Jensen gets ready to take this goal kick. He'll be in no hurry to take it, launches it downfield. It looks like it's going to go straight out for a throw. Here come Lincoln. You'd think they'd take 0-0 going into half-time, but maybe they can sense the opportunity for it to be more here. Errahan, poor touch. Does he get away with it? Yes, just about, because he's got teammates on hand to cover him. Bulwark to the edge of the box that time. Ali Smith goes in late on Mavropanos. Ball goes down the other end of the field. Referee, I think, is happy for things to just sort themselves out there.
Yeah, Smith was letting Mavropanos know exactly what he thought when he stayed down there. He's telling him to get up in as nicer words as possible, I think.
There is the half-time whistle here at Sincil Bank at the end of what's been an absolutely cracking first half of a cup tie. Lincoln, the League One team, having the better of the chances against a must-change West Ham side. Alex Mitchell, thought he'd given Lincoln City the lead. Ball over the top. He got the tap in. Offside flag went up. And then right at the end of the half, ball played in. It was a great cross from Ali Smith. Rico Hackett, powerful header, 6 yards out, straight down the throat of Fabianski, who made an excellent save. And then just 60 seconds after that, we thought West Ham were going to hit Lincoln with a sucker punch, but Ings, one-on-one, put his ball wide of the bottom corner, Stephen Kelly.
Yeah, Lincoln, listen, go in at half-time. Fantastic about how they've played, really confident that they can get at West Ham, not feeling like they're a threat. I think, in the forward there's Kudus who's pulling strings for West Ham. He's their danger man, he's their threat, he's the one that's going to make something happen for them. But they'll feel like they're comfortable, when they get into the wide areas, their crossing has been really poor. But on the other end, Lincoln have put decent balls in the box. It caused them problems. That was a glaring chance for Hackett, and I think when they look back at it, he'd be really disappointed that he doesn't score because it's point blank. He almost connects with it too well. He gets so much power in the header. It's straight down the throat of Fabianski. He pulls off the save, but Lincoln will feel nothing to fear in the second half.
It's a cliche question to say what's the manager going to say at the break, but Mark Kennedy will be saying more of the same. David Moyes will be saying need to wake up a little bit here.
David Moyes would be giving them both barrels, I would expect, and this is the thing, when you come with a Premier League side to a lower league team, and you don't want to say, I don't want to use the word complacent, but I'm going to use it because I don't want to take anything away from Lincoln's performance, but it is a little bit of complacency, a little bit of thinking we just have to turn up to win this game, and West Ham have a little bit of that about them. Defensively, they're not keeping shutouts, and Lincoln have just grown in confidence. As this game got on, they're thinking, like I said, they feel like they have nothing to fear.
Those are the thoughts of Stephen Kelly here on 5 Sports Extra. We'll be back with full live second half match commentary here at Sincil Bank, but at half time it is Lincoln 0, West Ham 0. Let's now go to St James's Park to join Neil Lennon and Ian Dennis.
His header across goal on 12 minutes. 1-0 to Fulham at the break.
I think that rounds up the 7:45 half times in the League Cup third round. In the Scottish League Cup, the quarter-finals, Hibs, St Mirren, Kenny Crawford.
Half-time score, Hibs 0, St Mirren 1. Scott Tanza, the former Rochdale, Port Vale and St Johnstone fullback, his second goal of the season. A lovely left foot half volley from the edge of the box. The Buddies trying to make it 11 games unbeaten. They've got 1 foot in the semi-finals. Hibs 0, St Mirren 1.
Now this is a concern. Calvin Phillips has gone to ground. Was there a challenge there from Joel Linton?
I don't know if it was deliberate or accidental, but there's definitely been a collision before the ball came into play. And Phillips is trying to make a run towards the ball. I tell you what, he's been caught by Miley, who was tracking Kovacic, and as Phillips stepped back, he ran into Miley and caught him on the back of the calf, back of the ankle. But he seems to be okay now.
Well, it's the last thing that he would want after he's got an opportunity here with Rodri's 3-match suspension to get a bit of a run on the City side as Oscar Bob hares after Paul Dummett, plays it back. First time clearance was sliced by Pope. Poor clearance by Miley, goes straight to Grealish, tries to get a foot into the challenge to redeem himself. Now it's with Tonali. Tonali fouled by Phillips. Referee wants to play the advantage, but Murphy seemed reluctant to realise that was going on. There was no momentum there. There was no advantage for Newcastle United, given that Murphy was hesitant. He goes out for a throw.
Wasn't a great advantage at all, ref. Honestly, I know what he's trying to do, but he should have just given the free kick. Just to give Newcastle a breather.
Yeah. Here is Kovacic. City are back in possession. We've got 7 minutes to go to half time. Still 0-0. Let's get an update from Ibrox. Gavin Wallace.
Still Rangers 1, Livingston 0. Ian Stephen Kelly with the first shot on goal for Livingston there. Just 2 seconds before you came to me. It just went over the bar, but Rangers at the moment with 85% of the possession. Rangers 1, Livingston 0.
Aki wins a corner. That was cut out by Lascelles, attacking the Gallagate end. Grealish getting the boos and the cheers as he makes his way over towards that far side. It's another City corner which he's taken quickly. Grealish rolls it. towards Alvarez. Back to the England international. Inside, little turn there by Bob. Back then to Grealish. No shooting opportunity. Rico Lewis though will get one deflection and loops over the top and out behind for a corner kick.
Yeah, it's a short corner routine. You know what's really interesting, Dano, is when Man City are even attacking the position of the other players. If they were to lose the ball, it always seems to be in the right position to pick up, a deflection off a player or a loose pass. They just sort of suck the life out of you and strangle you and just don't let you out.
Corner kick, right hand side. Gomez hits an in-swinger towards the far post. It was an awkward one, and it was dealt with very well by Targett, who's got tangled in the back of that net as a result. But the referee's blown his whistle, and it will be a Newcastle United clearance away downfield. 6 minutes to go to half time. How do you beat them? You're watching this now as a coach.
How do you beat them? Don't play them at their own game.
So what do you go
Change,
long? Go long?
Listen, they've tried playing through them all half and they can't because they're just too good. So you got to get down the sides of them, test the fullbacks, the City back four. All the fullbacks have done for Man City is attack and play in the opposition half. Get a bit of physicality up there. Get Joe Linton playing on Rico Lewis. And get down the sides and get some crosses in the box, because at the minute it's all one-way traffic, and if City get one in and Eddie doesn't make changes, they'll get another couple.
Well, Manchester City have failed to score just once in 37 games, and in those 37 games it's one defeat in all competitions, and that was Brentford, and that goes back since early February, as Lascelles just shrugs off the challenge of Sergio Gomez. Tonali picks it up. Newcastle supporters have had very little to cheer in these opening 40 minutes of this third round of this EFL Cup tie on BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds. 0-0. And the treble winners in the trophy that got away last year are the ones who have completely dominated. As Ake to Gvardiol inside the centre circle. It's the second time that Guardiola has apologised to the fourth official, as Isak to Murphy, releases him. Murphy in the penalty area, saved by Ortega.
Wow, that's gone from nowhere. It's a miscommunication between Guardiola and Phillips. Phillips just a little bit slow on the turn, and then Murphy breaks. And it's a beautiful ball from Isak, and Murphy's in on the right hand side, and Ortega makes a great save. The first opportunity that Newcastle have had, and it's come from a mistake by Man City. And that may have given them something to hang on to.
Well, certainly, listen what it's done to the Newcastle supporters. First shot on target has come in the 41st minute, and now they've got a corner as their effort. And Ortega, who's been a passenger in these breezy and damp conditions, made the save with his legs in front of the Leesy's end away towards our left-hand side. Still goalless. Corner taken short on the left. Murphy to Target. He'll go further square. Tonali, flat ball in, waiting for it at the far post with three of them, and it went over the heads of Lascelles, Joelinton, and then in between Murphy and out for a goal kick.
That's really disappointing from Tonali. He's got time to hit the diagonal back across to Joelinton. That's one of Eddie Howe's old set plays. He used to do that one at Bournemouth, where they go from one side of the pitch to the other and play a diagonal back to where the ball started. And Tonali's not executed the pass. He actually has been off the game tonight for me, and he's been poor in possession.
3 minutes to go to the break. Neil Lennon, who began his career actually at Manchester City.
Long time ago, Denner.
1988.
Correct.
3-0 defeat at Birmingham City.
3-0 win.
3-0 win, was it?
Yeah, I was there. Trust me.
I'll be checking that at half time. You wore the number 2 shirt.
I was 16. I played right back. Oh, brilliant.
Here is Oscar Bob.
He's done it again.
Cross. And again, rather than going for goal, unselfish. And that's the second time that Guardiola is banging his hands against his head, thinking, this is it, this is an opportunity. Very unselfish.
Again, they've won the ball in Newcastle's defensive third. Lovely touch from Alvarez to Bob. Yeah, maybe the angle's a bit tight for him to shoot, but even then the cross is poor from him.
Gomez waits to take the corner kick. Short option available, not required. Left-footed, very, very deep. Gvardiol gets his head on it, then brings it down. manages to keep the ball in play and get a corner. Well, against all the odds, Guardiola there, because he really was having to run back and stretch for it, wins a corner off Joelinton.
What about his control with the head and then to bring it down? That's from your left-sided centre half.
That's what you were like as a 16-year-old at St Andrews. 2 minutes to go to half-time, still 0-0. 5 live. Grealish waits far side the left. It's going to be an in-swinger. In it comes now. They're waiting for it. Pope gets a fist on that to punch it away. Gomez is in a foot chase with Miley. Gomez keeps the ball in play under pressure from Lewis Miley. Goes all the way back to Ortega, who then plays it out towards Sergio Gomez. And then Gomez will go back to Ortega, still outside of his penalty area, all in green, away towards our left-hand side. Kovacic running away from Murphy, no challenge. Then he runs into trouble, they lose the ball. Newcastle get it back, but Phillips then wins it back with a 50-50. Tonali tries to get there, the crowd respond. Livramento comes forward, urged on by the St James's Park crowd. Livramento runs forward, delivers a cross-come shot that flashes over everybody's head and out of play for a throw. Doesn't take much to excite this crowd.
That was fantastic, wasn't it? And just the decibel raise, gradually as you could see that sort of passage of play build, and the fight that Newcastle showed there, fantastic.
Here is Dummett, the clearance from Manchester City was held up a little bit in the wind. Tonali gives it away, a little back heel by Alvarez to Kovacic. Gomez is running through the middle, but it runs off his legs and through towards Pope, and we'll find out how much added on time there will be as Pope throws it out towards Lewis Hall, who runs forward for Newcastle. Target's ahead of him. Hall has gone further clear on this left-hand side, and now he is being barged over by Akanji, and the referee says no foul, but Akanji actually stops because there's no one ahead of him. It's like a rabbit in the headlights there was Akanji. There's Oscar Bob, good footwork. He really has caught the eye, hasn't he? And there's going to be 1 minute of additional time here at St James's Park, and it is still 0-0. Here is Phillips on the halfway line inside the centre circle. Kovacic almost waits for the challenge to come from Miley, and now to Vardiol. It's a night where the youngsters have really caught the eye and impressed for Manchester City, but it remains 0-0. The 7:45 games will be getting underway very, very soon, so stay with us. It'll be a busy half-time period as we zip here, there and everywhere. Enrico Lewis making the run forward, the little chip from Sergio Gomez away from him. Again, there's an appreciation of the football that they're playing.
Marvellous, a little bit ambitious with the reverse ball at the end, but who do you think then is going to be the happier manager at the minute?
I would think Eddie Howe.
I would as well. I think there'll be a air of frustration from Guardiola, the fact that they've dominated the game and not been in front. Well, I would imagine Eddie will have to think about some changes, because the longer this goes on, you'd imagine Newcastle will tire, because they've done a lot of chasing so far, unless they can get something to hold on to.
Well, there's the half-time whistle, and it's 0-0, but Alvarez has had 2 chances, one saved by the feet of Pope. Oscar Bob has had 2 chances where you think go for goal, and he didn't. And then for Newcastle at the other end, Murphy saving Ortega. So what are your thoughts on that first half, Neil?
Oh, it's a great game to watch, but all the talk has been about the play of Man City, their passing, their movement, Newcastle hanging in there in terms of possession, and then out of nowhere they get a break because of the complacency from Man City, because they've been so much in control and could have been a goal up. But Eddie won't be happy with the lack of possession, the lack of bravery on the ball. They've given the ball away a lot, and when you do that against the Man City side coached by Guardiola, it's a long time for the ball to come back, and when you do get it there in the end, you're fatigued.
Well, don't worry, there hasn't been a goalless draw since 1995 here at St James's Park.
Oh no.
And it's half-time here.
Now you've gone and done it. How long, Neil, do you think until we see Doku, Haaland, Foden, Nunez? Take your pick.
I'd definitely give it another 15-20 minutes, Steve. I think, whilst he'll be frustrated, Guardiola, his team have played brilliantly and so fluently, and they have cut Newcastle open on a couple of occasions and been in the majority of control of the game. So yeah, I wouldn't be too much in a hurry just yet. I think all the questions are for Eddie. What does he do? Because if it keeps going on like this and City do score, that's a long way back for them.
And reminder, straight to penalties if we level at the end of 90 minutes. Ian, Neil, thank you very much indeed. Second half commentary, of course, on the way from St James's Park. But as that game reaches half-time, all the other games tonight in the League Cup third round are getting underway in the second half. Let's start with League One Lincoln City, who are at home to West Ham. Chris Coles.
0-0, second half, probably 3 or 4 minutes away here. We were quite late getting underway. It's been a good game, this. Lincoln should be in front, squandering the game's best opportunity. Rico Hackett, 6 yards out, free header. He was wonderfully found. He could have put it anywhere in the net. Instead, he put it straight down the throat of Lucas Fabianski. Still needed saving, and it was a good save. West Ham's biggest threat, Danny Ings, clean through just after that chance actually for Lincoln, but he slid just wide. West Ham have lacked quality in the final third in particular, and Lincoln will fancy their chances in the second half. Players just out now. It's 0-0.
Stephen Kelly is one half of your commentary team for this match on 5 Sports Extra. Impressed with Lincoln, Stephen?
Very impressed. They've had to bide their time. At moments they've had to get back into a back five and defend deep and numbers behind the ball, but for the most part they've caused a real threat. And when they go in the forward areas, their quality in the final third, their crossing, their last ball has been better than West Ham's, and they've had the best chance of the game. Honestly, Steve, if he hits this, if he actually connects with it a little bit less than what he does, it goes to the back of the net. It's one of those powerful headers. He gets up, but it's straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. Pulls off a fine save, but either side of his back of the net, and they've had a goal disallowed as well, so they're lucky enough to be
Welcome back to Sincil Bank. Stephen Kelly will rejoin us from BBC Radio 5 Live in the next few minutes, but we are almost ready to go for the start of the second half here. Just checking away to the left, to the Lincoln dugout, and to my right, to the West Ham dugout. Neither manager, Mark Kennedy or David Moyes, has made any changes at half-time. We are off and underway for the second half. West Ham defending the away end in this second period of play, kicking from right to left. Lincoln, therefore, attacking it as we look at things, kicking from left to right. The attendance is just being passed out here in the press box. We were told it was a sellout. 10,168 the total crowd here tonight at Sincil Bank. 1,836 have made the trip from East London. Stephen Kelly, just like that, from 5 Live to 5 Sports Extra. It's like we're all sitting together. Welcome back, mate.
Like clockwork, isn't it? It's just straight back in. Listen, Lincoln are going to come out feeling like they're just more of the same, but they're going to have to expect West Ham to come out with a little bit more vigour, a little bit more pace about them, a little bit more directness. You can see the wingers have changed sides. They've put Cornet on the left wing, Ben Ramos on the right wing, and I think we spoke about beforehand, cutting back and cross those balls in. I want balls in behind the Lincoln defence, and that's what Moyes wants as well. He wants them going down the stronger foot and whip it in behind them, and you can see why he's changed the 2 wingers.
0-0 then as we get underway with the second half. I'll run through the 2 teams as soon as we get a break in play. West Ham have got it on the halfway line with Souček, moves it to the left to Ben Johnson, who had a really busy first half here at the Sincil Bank, as Johnson moves into the area, keeps it moving. Ben Rama, edge of the box, opportunity, shot well blocked, ball spins up into the air. It's going to fall for West Ham down the right, worked in field. Here's Kudus, who could have had a couple in the first half, but then again so could Lincoln. One disallowed for offside. Couple of great saves from Fabianski. Lincoln looking to hit West Ham on the counter here, but at the moment they can't get out of their own half. Johnson on the edge of the centre circle, raking ball to the right, cut out well by Lincoln City. Ball back in the West Ham half, who go with Fabianski in goal. The visitors, Kera, Ogbonna, Mavropanos and Cornet, the back 4. Then a 2 of Souček and Johnson. Souček, the only player left in the side that started the 3-1 defeat at Anfield on Sunday. So Souček alongside Johnson. Then it's a 3 of Kudus, Fornals and Benrahma, with Ings, the lone striker. He absolutely should have scored right at the end of the first half, just before the break. Went through 1-on-1, missing the bottom corner.
Yeah, up on that point, did everything right. And someone like Danny Ings, who you know has an eye for goal, but he just pulls the shot wide. Again, Jensen did really well to come out quick, cut down the angles, but you would have expected Danny Ings to have hit the target.
West Ham already playing with a little bit more urgency. Lincoln made 2 changes from the side that were narrowly beaten at Portsmouth on Saturday afternoon. Jackson and Bishop dropping to the bench tonight. Smith and Mitchell, who had that goal disallowed, coming in. They go with Lucas Jensen in goal, 3 at the back, Sean Rowan, Powdy O'Connor and Alex Mitchell. The left wing back is Jack Burrows, the right wing back is Lasse Sorensen. Then it's a 3 of Ethan Hamilton, Ali Smith, who's been excellent, and Ethan Erahan, with Rico Hackett and Hakib Adelakan up top. Lincoln try to work it forwards, but it goes straight out behind that goal in front of the away end for a West Ham United goal kick. 3 minutes gone in the second half.
Yeah, it's actually not a bad ball from Sorensen there. He just feeds it in behind Johnson, the left back of West Ham, but they went on the same wavelength with the strikers. But that's where you want to push. You want to push them, force them back into those corners, because they can do have pace in the forward areas.
That's the excellent Stephen Kelly with us here on 5 Sports Extra, mentioned in the first half, formerly of Spurs, Reading, Stoke, Fulham. We could list his clubs all day. Here come Lincoln with Sorensen down the right, cutting inside to the edge of the area, tries a shot. It was always rising, rose just that little bit too quickly over the bar into the away end. Good run, and not a bad effort either from Sorensen.
Yeah, it's a great initial play. It's brilliant. Little nutmegs to put him through, and he drives. What he does is great. He drives inside. He doesn't stay on the outside. He comes inside, cuts off the West Ham player, bringing it back. But then when he gets into it, you just see there's that little bit of lack of conviction in hitting it. He doesn't strike through. He almost just chips it into that far corner, so it doesn't test the goalkeeper. But great drive and run from Sorensen.
You know it's close when one member of the commentary team jumps. It's really close when we both jump, but that was really close. For a second we thought it was going to go underneath the crossbar, but it's another Lincoln City chance that goes begging. 0-0, Lincoln of League One and West Ham of the Premier League here in the EFL Cup third round on 5 Sports Extra. West Ham have got the ball edge of the centre circle, right side, with Mavropanos, who was, as we mentioned in the first half, efficient, not spectacular, just a tidy defender is the way I'd sum him up. Johnson plays the ball forwards. Ings tries to keep it moving, well read and cut out by Lincoln, and they will come away with the ball by the right foot of Ethan Hamilton. He gives it to Ali Smith. Was that a push in the back? I thought so. Referee didn't. West Ham have it back with Ings, 30 yards out dead centre, keeps it moving. Ben Rama to the right, first time low cross in, repelled by the Lincoln back 4, and it spins out for a throw in by the corner flag on the far side.
Yeah, but just it's funny, just offer something slightly different by just changing the wingers over. They're not inverted anymore, they're on the right side, and Benrahma then can try and whip that ball in behind the Lincoln defence. So as a defender, you're running back towards your goal. You can't just set yourself and head away, and Sean Rowan does well just to clear it and hook it back out.
West Ham throw, starting to get some fine rain here now at Sincil Bank. It's blowing in from left to right as we look at things, so if you're looking for small advantages, Lincoln definitely kicking with the win now.
Well, they are definitely with the win. It's just they need to keep hold of the ball. West Ham have come out with a little bit more impetus about them. They're on the front foot a bit more direct, and you can tell 100% David Moyes has been in there and he's given them a little bit. He's told them they need to up their game.
Chelsea ahead at Stamford Bridge. Jackson's got it 6 minutes into the second half there. Chelsea 1, Brighton 0, and Stoke have conceded 2 very quick goals. They trail at Bournemouth by 2-0. Everton have also got a second at Villa Park. Villa 0, Everton 2, and Blackburn are back in front again against Cardiff 3-2. Here come Lincoln. Lasse Sorensen, ball to the right. Dear me, Rico Hackett tried a ball from about 35 yards out, tried a shot on goal, and it went that far off target it nearly landed in the cathedral.
That wasn't wind assisted, it wasn't on target, but you know what, Sorensen drives forward well, it gives it to him, and the West Ham defence, O'Connor just drops off. He has so much more time to drive forward with the ball, but he takes a shot on from really far out and just slices across it. But I don't think he realised that they were in attack. They had 3v3 in the forward areas. He could have just driven with the ball a little bit more, and it's just that little bit of kind of know how to drive forward and see that you're in an advantageous position.
Liverpool level at Anfield through Cody Gakpo. Liverpool 1, Leicester 1. West Ham come forwards down the right. Lincoln stop them, and here come the League One side. Hakeeb Adelakan, the winger come striker, with the long throw, whips in a good looking cross, headed behind well by Ben Johnson, and Lincoln have their first corner of the second half.
Great play again. Adelakan onto the left hand side, and he cuts back, and that's how you whip a ball in when you cut back on your right foot, with pace, direction, low trajectory, and it's firing in. To be fair, Johnson does really well to get something on that, because he's on the far post waiting to tap that in.
Upset still on here, goalless, 52.5 played. Ethan Hamilton with an in-swinging corner from the Lincoln right, which is this near side in front of the away end, whipped in towards the near post, goes all the way through. It just needed a touch, nobody could provide one. It went in towards the near post, flashed into that area of uncertainty behind the West Ham defenders in front of Fabianski. It needed one clinical touch, and not one person was able to get a flick on the ball.
I actually don't know how that stayed out. That literally needed to touch a hair on someone's head just to slightly change the ball's direction, because it was fizzed in. The wind is blowing, you could see it. It was bending back towards that far post. I don't know how that stayed out.
It's one of those nights now where the weather conditions, carrier bags and litter blowing onto the pitch from the left to the right. Again, the wind going in the direction that Lincoln are attacking. That was so close. I'm surprised the wind didn't carry the ball over the line. It was so tight. And we've just seen a clearance from Fabianski, which he's got caught up in the wind there. His teammates telling him to keep it on the deck, but that's worked to Lincoln's advantage here. They've got it in midfield with Errahan. Keeps it moving into the centre circle where Powdy O'Connor will take over. He tried a shot from distance in the first half, went over the crossbar, wasn't bad for a centre half though. Sorensen in field, Adelakan with the layoff. Hamilton can't bring it under control. Great cup tie this. Hamilton comes away, hits it on the turn, wide of the top corner, but again, we said it earlier in the game, not afraid to try their luck from distance, Lincoln City.
No, and that was moving as well. He turns, he only has one thing on his mind as he gets around. He's got a really nice left one and he tries to whip into that far corner. And to be fair, this is not far away. He catches it really well. Long way out, but it would have troubled him if that hit the target.
Blackburn with a fourth at home to Cardiff. That should be them home and dry. Blackburn 4, Cardiff 2. Lincoln 0, West Ham 0 here. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Lincoln penalised for a foul on the halfway line on Maxwell Cornet. West Ham free kick on this near side, the West Ham left. David Moyes barking his instructions from the edge of the technical area to the right of the halfway line. He's got his tracksuit on tonight. Hood blowing quite fiercely in the Lincolnshire wind now. Just getting a few effects of Storm Agnes, which has made all of those headlines over the last 12 hours or so. We were warned, and now both teams, West Ham in particular, feeling the brunt of it. Here's Mavropanos inside the centre circle, moves it from left to right. Kerr's out there, and now Kudus will take over. Back to Mavropanos. He's got Ogbonna square, but moves it to his right. West Ham just, again, as they did effectively before the break, whenever Lincoln had a decent spell, just able to keep the ball and take the sting out of the home team's game. They try a through ball here through Benrahma to West Ham. Lincoln clear on the turn. West Ham pump it back forwards from halfway. The ironic cheers again because the ball got caught in the wind. Kerr sends it across from the right. Late challenge goes in on him, and West Ham will have a free kick in a very, very dangerous area, about 7 or 8 yards from the corner flag.
Yeah, and it's just come from a punt clearance forward. The wind is actually kept in. Normally this flies out pitch off for a goal kick for Lincoln, but it's held up by the wind. Get a cross in, and it's just a late tackle. But this is a really dangerous area. But West Ham are going to have to up their game when it comes to delivery of set plays, corners, because at the moment, up to this point, they've been really poor. They've hit the first man, so they're going to expect a little bit better.
Kudus stands over the free kick. It's on the far touchline. Assistant referee with a word in Kudus' ear. Lincoln with every single player back defending this set piece. It's whipped in and it's tipped over the crossbar by Lucas Jensen for West Ham's first corner of the second half.
Yeah, better delivery, good pace on it from Kudus. It actually is. It's a shot, but down the throat of the goalkeeper Jensen, who just tips it over.
Kudus thought about a quick short corner. Fornells was offering, but Errahan cuts out the pass very quickly. So Kudus whips it in. Opportunity, goalkeeper comes. No real authority that time. It goes through, and the goalkeeper's relieved to see it go behind for a goal kick. The first time we've seen Lucas Jensen look slightly troubled.
Yeah, again, the wind is howling, and he comes out and he opts for the punch and just doesn't get anything on it. And it's Mavropanos on the far post, who luckily enough it just comes off his shoulder. He's almost expecting the keeper to get it, but he misses it, hits him and goes out for a goal kick.
He's saying this to a former pub footballer goalkeeper who wouldn't even come and take a cross in the calmest of conditions, let alone in the face of Storm Agnes. I have his full sympathy there.
Yeah, it's a really interesting thing, and I think as a defender, when you have a goalkeeper that come and catches the ball, it is such an amazing thing to have. Mark Schwarzer, who was on BBC, was the best at it for me. Every time a ball came in, we would just block the runners and he'd come out and take it, and the relief that gives you.
We'd have hated each other basically on the pitch. We'll stick up here with the microphones. West Ham have it inside their own half. Souček being closed down very quickly. Big shout of man on, because Adelakan was almost ready to pounce there. West Ham keep possession of the ball with Mavropanos right side of the centre circle. West Ham building again from the back, looking to bounce straight back from that defeat at Liverpool, David Moyes' team on Sunday. Before that, a win in the Europa League. Before that, it was a home defeat to Manchester City, but before that, 4 games unbeaten, including 3 straight wins. Johnson cutting in from the left, ball played forwards. West Ham do well to keep it moving through Ings, ball back out to the left. Souček in the midfield, facing his own goal, midway inside the Lincoln half, moves to the right once more. Cornet's out there showing short. Kudus is out there too. West Ham looking to get the ball into the penalty area, but Lincoln have everybody back, so we're able to defend it. The one thing is, when they pump a long clearance forwards, there's nobody there to receive the ball.
Yeah, it's hard because they're, like I said, they're getting everybody back behind the ball.
West Ham, edge of the area right side once more. Low cross, whipped in by Kerrer, blocked by Burrows, throw in to the visitors. It's a long way to go before we go to penalties. It's a long time to have everybody behind the ball.
Yeah, it is. I think they've done that at spells in the first half as well, and they've operated, and then they've just been able to get out at moments when they've kept the ball. But Kerrer in a really advantageous position to put a decent cross in behind the defence and hits the first man again.
Souček, Fornals, ball to the left to Ben Johnson, pokes it forwards. Here's Benrahma, edge of the area, a couple of yards from the byline. Back to Johnson, dangerous looking cross, diving header away by Lincoln. West Ham pump it back forwards. Ings couldn't bring it under control with his head on the turn that time, and the goalkeeper Lucas Jensen, again a sign that they're happy to waste as much time as possible. Lincoln just takes his time in claiming the ball.
Absolutely. You listen, takes it down to his chest, settles it down. If you go and clear your lines early and you just pump it up to no one up there, he's letting them get the position. He's going to fire this forward now and hopefully pen West Ham back a bit.
Goes long out of his hands, the goalkeeper this time, and with the effect of the wind, it's just gone straight into the away end. That ball's not going to work.
He hasn't judged that at all. I don't think. He needs to take a lot off it. If he kicks like that, it's going to be out the away end every time.
Anybody remembers the Peter Kay ad from years ago, Abbott? That was basically it that time from Lucas Jensen.
The wind is that strong. I reckon he could kick it and it could end up over the back line.
Even a back pass here to Fabianski. He's just had a little bit of pelt on it. He's got the time and space to deal with it. He goes high into the air, and again David Moyes just looks at him as if to say, look, that is not the ball to play in the face of all this wind. West Ham bring it down though. Benrahma, through ball. Is Ings offside? Yes, he is, according to the assistant referee over on the far side of the field.
He's just offside. How nice is it though, just see the linesman just put up his flag. It's like really, really enjoyable to commentate and just see offside, take it straight away, not play on for 10 minutes and then bring it back.
Very, very 1990s that, isn't it? Very 1990s.
I'm showing my age here talking about it. Enjoyment of refs just being able to put the flag up.
Free kick to be taken by Lucas Jensen, wearing all green in the Lincoln City goal. Goes long to the right, looking for Lasse Sorensen, who had a good first 45. He's been marked out of the game so far in the opening 16 minutes of the second half. Ball ricochets behind and West Ham will have a goal kick. A reminder, the draw for the 4th round takes place at 10:15 tonight. We will bring you news of it here on BBC Radio 5 Live and 5 Sports Extra. The 4th round ties, incidentally, will take place week beginning Monday, October the 30th. Johnson, long down the left for the visitors West Ham. Again, Lincoln with the answers aerially. They go long, and it carries all the way through to Fabianski. Lincoln fans in full voice, bobbing up and down over on the far side. The weather having a bit of an effect here.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Hamilton, Joe, when they're playing the balls forward, you just take his bit more composed on it, because if you're firing balls, it's just going to drift into the goalkeeper. That's poor from West Ham. McBonnett just gives it away. And West Ham the same. Johnson is trying to fire balls forward and they're just hanging up. You have to play to the conditions. West Ham are going to have to keep on the ground. Premier League team, they should be able to do that. And Lincoln are going to have to stop playing it so far forward, because it's just going to drift into Fabianski every time they overhit it.
West Ham are getting ready to bring on Divin Mubama. He'll be on momentarily, wearing shirt number 45 for the Irons. West Ham with some defending to do first though. Ogbonna guides the ball back to goalkeeper Fabianski. Doesn't kick it this time, bowls it over on, and it'll fall for Kerrer on the right. Keeps it moving. Kudus is forwards. receives the ball, turns away from trouble. The press from Lincoln, the energy that they've shown has been so impressive tonight, but are they going to get picked off here as West Ham come on the attack down the right? Ball played into the midfield. Kudus with his back to goal midway inside the half, moves it square to Johnson. He's got Benrahma to his left, edge of the area, picks him out. Benrahma running at Sorensen, works it onto his left foot on the byline, checks. Good defending Sorensen, forces him back to Johnson. Again, right foot, left, thinks about a step over. He's got nowhere to go at the moment. Absolutely superb defending by Lincoln City. It is Rico Hackett, the striker, back there defending this time, and they thoroughly deserve to come away with the ball. Hackett beats his man, brought down by Souček, and Souček's going to receive the game's first yellow card, no arguments.
Brilliant from Hackett. Not only just in defensive duty, gets back, helps his team out, wins the ball back. Then when he gets it forward, has that composure, just a wonderful little nutmeg. Souček comes flying in, takes him out, free kick, and then Lincoln can just settle down again. But that's a wonderful play.
Moyes gets ready to introduce Divin Mubama. He will come on during... I thought he was going to come on now, but he's still receiving some instruction, so he'll come on during the next break in play. Latest scores elsewhere: Bournemouth 2, Stoke 0, Villa 0, Everton 2, Blackburn 4, Cardiff 2, Arsenal 1 up at Brentford, 1-0 Chelsea lead at home to Brighton, Fulham 1, Norwich 0, Liverpool 1, Leicester 1. As West Ham have some more defending to do here. Long ball forwards by Lincoln, goes behind for a goal kick to the visitors. 6 minutes gone in the second half at St James's Park in the 8 o'clock kickoff. That one's 0-0. This one here is 0-0 as we receive news that Divin Mubama is going to replace Maxwell Cornet, who's been quiet in the second half. We're also going to see the introduction of Edson Alvarez. He's going to take the place of Pablo Fornals in a double change. Stephen Callum.
Yeah, Cornet, he's not, obviously David Moyes is not happy with what he's seen, not giving enough. He should be getting him the ball, driving them forward, so he's changed him out, and then Alvarez comes on for that to play in the higher of the midfield position. Souček has been sitting deep, and Fornals is just not offering enough, I don't think. Looks like Kudus has gone out onto the right wing, Danny Ings has dropped, and they're going with a 2 basically. Ings is in the number 10 position, Bama is up top, so Souček is in the middle of the park.
Double change, so David Moyes shakes things up first. Mark Kennedy hasn't touched the side that he started with so far, and we've had 20 minutes of this second half. It's not been played quite at the exhilarating pace of the first, but it's still, for a 0-0, not been a bad watch this at all at Sincil Bank. Lincoln go back to their goalkeeper Lucas Jensen, no nonsense from him that time, under a little bit of pressure from Danny Ings, clears the ball long out for a West Ham throw on the halfway line, on the far side, which is the West Ham right, as they kick from right to left, defending their travelling 1,800 supporters, West Ham.
It's interesting that Moyes has just gone to basically 4-4-2, because you don't often see that these days.
I've used time references a few times.
Yeah,
it's old school as well, isn't it? Maybe it's us.
Yeah,
maybe
it might just be us. Yeah, it might be us.
We're so with it in 2023. Johnson's cross, in it goes. Goalkeeper comes, gets a palm on that. It wasn't a convincing punch away, but it was enough. Souček puts the ball back in. Lincoln with defending to the right side of their area, and they clear it to halfway. Ogbonna takes the ball on the turn, goes back to Fabianski because he's under pressure from Hakeem Adelakan, the man with the long throw, which we've not seen yet since the half-time interval. West Ham dominating possession for the last 10 minutes or so as we approach the midway point of the second half. Lincoln City 0, West Ham 0, here on 5 Sports Extra from the BBC. Benrahma, ball over the top looking for Ings. That's going to be a foul given this time against Edson Alvarez. His first touch was a clumsy one.
Yep, just trying to get himself into the game, get up to speed. But yeah, West Ham just slightly different choice. Kudus out on the right, Benrahma out on the left, Danny Ings up top, and Bamba. It'd be interesting to see if that changes things. If you see Souček now in the midfield too, if he can get forward side, he was operating in a really deep position, and we know he's got going. He had that wonderful season where West Ham, where he was arriving, timings his run really well into the box, scoring goals, and maybe put him in a 2 gives him that freedom a little bit to get forward and join in a bit more.
Lucas Jensen's free kick, which he had to respot because the wind blew it a little bit across the pitch. So The weather conditions are affecting things here. West Ham win the ball back. Forwards it goes to Ings, who's not had the creativity and service that he will have wished for tonight so far.
No, Danny Ings, he's the type of player who fields off little through balls off the shoulders, balls in around the box. That's where he gets his chance. He got a great chance opportunity. You would expect him to hit the target earlier, but he doesn't. But he's not the type of player that drops and hits. He wants off the shoulder runs, passing and around them, and they haven't had that.
22 minutes plus stoppage time away from a penalty shootout to separate the League One and Premier League sides. Long way to go as Benrahma goes into the area left side, pulls the ball back, turned behind for a corner by Powdy O'Connor, who had to get that right because he was facing his own goal.
Yeah, Benrahma gets through, gets his head up, and he's looking to pull it back on his left arm. But Powdy O'Connor, what he does, he picks up a really good position, limits Benrahma's eyesight to what he can do, and he just clears the danger. But it was good defending in the end.
Kudus comes to this near side to take the fourth West Ham corner of the second half. A way swinger from the West Ham left. He's got Benrahma showing as a short option now that Fornals has left the field, but again that option's cut off. Kudus with the delivery, cleared away. Alvarez shot from the edge of the area, deflected over and wide, and that's going to be another corner.
As this comes out, Alvarez catches this really well. I think it's Sorensen gets a touch on it and puts out for a corner, but it's like half volley, he just whips it.
This one 0-0 on 5 Sports Extra. We've got a goal over on BBC Radio 5 Live. News of it in just a second. Corner whipped in by Benrahma, bobbling around and turned in. And West Ham have the game's opening goal midway into the second half. It was a brilliant delivery by Benrahma. No one tracked the runner. And with a quarter of this game to go, West Ham lead by a goal to nil at Sincil Bank.
Yeah, you know, it's the first time West Ham have actually delivered the ball from a corner. I think Kudus had one in the second half. Benrahma this time misses the first man, and it's whipped into a really dangerous area. Loads of pace on it. I think Lincoln, we gutted that they don't have someone there to clear because there's a low trajectory in the ball, but Souček just arrives and scores that header. Really good getting into the box, attacks it really well, but Lincoln will be really disappointed because he's headed it inside the 6-yard box, and it's almost, he hasn't even had to jump, it's just nodded it in from low, so they'll be disappointed that they've got a head on it, but West Ham get themselves in front.
Lincoln 0, West Ham 1 on 5 Sports Extra. As news comes through of a Newcastle goal at St James's Park as well. Isak the scorer, Newcastle 1, Manchester City 0. It's a delicious corner. First one that Benrahma's taken all night. Whipped in. And nobody was able to pick up the run of Thomas Souček.
It's funny, isn't it, just beforehand talking about how he's great at arriving in the box and scoring headers, and that was usually from open play, and he had that one season, but you know, he is a danger, he's a threat, and for him to have that free run at the near post, like I said, Lincoln will know of his ability in the air, and they'll be really disappointed, especially how low it was when he heads it.
Well, we said it earlier tonight, we've said it on a couple of occasions, Stephen. Actually, if you're Lincoln City, you will be kicking yourselves because you can't create the amount of chances that they have and not take one of them in any game of football, really. But when you're up against a side 7th in the Premier League, you learn the hard way. But they're not out of it yet. West Ham leading by 1-0. Souček off a corner. Here come West Ham on the counter, looking to kill the game very quickly. Good defending, not for the first time tonight by Lincoln. Can't make it stick though in the midfield. And West Ham have it back with Alvarez. Moves it to the right. 1-0 to West Ham with 18 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Lots of people here in the commentary areas were thinking about penalty grids. At the moment we need a Lincoln equaliser for that. West Ham though, no such idea. They're looking for a second goal now with the substitute Alvarez. Switches things from left to right. Corner whipped in. Kerry with a good delivery. It couldn't quite be met that time by the head of the substitute Mubama, and the goalkeeper was able to come and make the claim. And now here come Lincoln straight away. Nice flick by Hackett to pick out Sorensen down the right edge of the area, cross too close to Fabianski, who dives and smothers the ball.
You know what, it's really good play, great little flicker around the corner from Hackett, and Sorensen, he's looking, with the way he's running, how far out he is, he needs him to go across that near post. I don't think he can ever try and find it to the far post there. So that run has to be to the back and then come across the defender, but it doesn't happen for him, and it's into the hands of Fabianski.
Szoboszlai has turned things around for Liverpool, adding to Gakpo's equaliser at Anfield. Liverpool 2, Leicester City 1, and Blackburn have got a 5th at home to Cardiff. Blackburn 5, Cardiff 2. All the reaction to tonight's football, including the draw for the 4th round with Steve Crossman at the conclusion of the game between Newcastle and Manchester City, which you can hear over on BBC Radio 5 Live with Neil Lennon and Ian Dennis. Lincoln with the throw in their left back area to be taken by Sean Rowan with 17 minutes of normal time to go. The ball's back with goalkeeper Jensen, who was closed down late, just about made the clearance, but it goes straight to Ben Johnson on the halfway line. Forwards to Ings. West Ham's tails up since that opening goal. Ings 25 yards out, plays the through ball. Benrahma gets there, left side of the area, pulls it back. Good defending again by Lincoln, and Alex Mitchell this time. Ball goes behind for another corner.
It's hard for Lincoln there because they're playing offside, and Benrahma is actually offside, but then it's the third man run of Benrahma in behind that they don't really see. And again, good positioning, get back in, cover angles, and Benrahma just hits the near post.
Benrahma's second corner. They scored off his first. Same idea from the left. In swinger, whipped in. Defended well and behind this time. Fulham have got a second at home to Norwich through Iwobi. But then Norwich have got one back almost instantly through Sainz. Fulham 2, Norwich 1 at Carrow Road. Here on Sports Extra, Lincoln 0, West Ham United 1. It took until the 70th minute to get the opening goal. Souček putting in from a Benrahma corner. Benrahma with his latest corner now, punched away by goalkeeper Jensen, will be picked up over on the far side by Mohamed Kudus. Does well to keep the ball in play by the corner flag. He's got Lasse Sorensen in his face. Is he going to go back to Kerrer? No, he sends in the cross. Souček pulls it back. Johnson with a shot from distance off the face of the post. It was a daisy cutter along the turf, caught it well off the face of the post. Corner comes back in for the second ball. Lincoln deal with it. That would have been game, set and match.
Yeah, to be fair, he just scrambles at the edge of the box. Johnson comes onto it and he hits this so well. He kind of whips into that far corner, loads of pace on it, past loads of bodies. I don't think Jensen can see much about it, and it just pings off the post and comes out wide, and Barana keeps it in, and they're going again, West Ham. They look confident now.
Yeah. Which they haven't for large parts of this game. Alvarez, ball into the centre circle to Mavropanos, whose ball I've not said for the last 15-20 minutes just because of West Ham's dominance going further forwards down the field. Lincoln win the ball back, and again, it's a cliche, but at 1-0, you never ever know, especially in a cup tie, as the ball's played forwards to Ali Smith, takes it on the turn on the edge of the centre circle, keeps it moving. Lincoln wide on the left, shot's going to go in, straight down the throat that time of Lucas Fabianski, who had to watch it well because he was nearly caught out there by Jack Burrows with that dipper.
Yeah, Freddie, they work it really well. First time they've played through the lines, Burrows cuts inside. Again, he has options to pass it, but he opts for the shot. And you know what? He actually holds on to it well, Fabianski, because that bounces just in front of him and he keeps into his chest.
Ogbonna, left-sided centre-half for West Ham. They've made two changes in this second half, taking off Fornals and Cornet and bringing on Mubama and Alvarez. The goals come since those changes were made, I should say. It wasn't any of the two substitutes involved. It was Benrahma with an assist for Souček. Here comes the fourth official. Now Lincoln are getting ready to make their first change of the night. They don't look altogether ready, but they're going to make a triple change. Right, this is going to test us. So off comes Hakeeb Adelakan, who's been quiet in this second half. Adelakan will make way for Jovan Makama. So Makama comes on. Ali Smith's making way. He's been one of the standout players for Lincoln tonight. He's going to be replaced by Ted Bishop. And also going off is Rico Hackett, who's had a good game. He's being replaced by Dylan Duffy. So Mark Kennedy going for it with what he has available.
Yeah, to be fair, the front three have put in a shift because a lot of times they've had to work without the ball. Adelakun up front, he's been tasked with pressing the back two, but also getting back into that midfield once Souček and being the first point of call. So that's a difficult shift they put in. They've worked really hard and they've been tracking back and running forward. So he's just changed the front three and he's going for it. He's putting legs on in the pitch in the forward areas to try and generate some energy.
12 minutes for those three to try and have some kind of impact for the home team. Ball goes out for a Lincoln throw, 25 yards from the corner flag over on the far side, which is the Lincoln City left. No further goals to tell you about.
It's interesting
elsewhere.
Because I was going to say, without Adelakun on the pitch, and I was kind of keen to see what it'd be like with his throw in with the wind behind him, but now he's gone off the pitch. It's up to Sean Rowan.
And typically it's the first throw they've really had. It's a long one from Rowan. In it goes, not really dealt with until Ings manages to take the ball facing his own goal and then clear it away on the turn. They've got some power from throw-ins, this Lincoln team.
Rowan has deputised well there for Adelakun. I didn't think he had that in him. Young on the Irish and the 21 player, I've seen a couple of times.
Lincoln go long here but get penalised for a foul on Mavropanos. West Ham will have a free kick which they will be in no hurry to take. The main reason being, as David Moyes talks with his coaching staff down below us, they know the Premier League side, changes or not, they've been in a game here tonight.
Listen, it's one of those games where the first half Lincoln had so many chances, so many opportunities, and you kind of feel, are they going to rue it that they didn't take one of those? West Ham robbed the luck at times, but it just takes that one moment where we know one of those players can produce a moment of quality, and they did. It was a great delivery and it's a good header from Souček.
Plenty of different live sport coming your way on 5 Live and 5 Sports Extra over the next few days. Tomorrow on 5 Live, the Ryder Cup preview show, Mark Chapman and the team in Rome, John Murray, Ian Carter, Alistair Bruce Ball, James Gregg leading our coverage. That's going to be a cracking few days of golf which gets underway on Friday, but the preview show tomorrow night with Mark and the team. And then on Sports Extra tomorrow from 10:25 we've got cricket, Hampshire against Surrey, before we end the day at 10:08 with Japan versus Samoa in the Rugby World Cup. And then of course Ryder Cup all weekend, along with plenty of live football on Saturday, including our usual goal service from 3 o'clock. Ben Rama down the left, good tracking back by Sorensen, dispossesses Ben Rama, who was caught flat-footed there. Sorensen continues to work hard for the Lincoln City cause. Ben Rama has it back, takes it to the byline, beats Sorensen this time. Ben Rama with the pullback, another one for West Ham here will kill it, but Lincoln are able to clear to the halfway line. Is that a foul on the substitute Jovan Makama? It looked like it, but the referee wasn't interested.
To be honest, it's really bad that wasn't seen. The linesman is staring straight at him. He absolutely has to give that. He's being dragged back absolutely when we're upon us, and it doesn't make sense why the linesman hasn't flagged and given that as a free kick.
Lincoln 0, West Ham 1. 10 minutes to go plus stoppage time. That's what separates West Ham United from a place in the 4th round. They went out at this stage last season on penalties to Blackburn. Ball into the area. Kudus is over there on the far side, tries the shot, good block, spins and just goes the right side of the corner flag for the latest West Ham corner. I make that 8 in this second half. Such has been their dominance since the break.
It is, and you knew as soon as Kudus received it, he was going to try and get onto his left foot and had a shot, but there was an option edge of the box. Kerr had made a really good run from fullback and he was in acres of space. He could have just pulled it back to me, but a little bit of greed crept in.
Seem to remember that penalty shootout last November which knocked West Ham out of this competition at this stage, ended 9-8 in Blackburn's favour, something crazy like that. Quick corner into the area right side, ball pulled back, Alvarez with a shot over the crossbar, couldn't keep it down, and goalkeeper Lucas Jensen is in a hurry to get this goal kick taken. He's looking to launch it downfield, of course with the advantage of the wind, plays it to the right of centre. Sorensen will give chase, but again he's just not got that measured up quite right with the weather conditions.
It's not a bad kick, he just needs to hit at the angles a little bit more. If he hits it out this way, at least it will go for a throw in. Instead it's going right into the hands of Fabianski, and it's just, it's letting West Ham off, giving them the ball back.
Lincoln's cup runs in recent seasons have been impressive. 4th round of this competition last season, quarter-finals of the FA Cup back in 2017. Here come West Ham, Ben Rama in behind, cross, excellent tracking back once again by Lincoln City. West Ham with another corner leading 1-0.
Yeah, again, it's brilliant defending. Honestly, Alex Mitchell and Sean Rowan have covered those positions. Ben Rama has gotten behind Sorensen on a few occasions now on this left-hand side. He's looked really dangerous, but when it's come to delivering that ball, they've picked up really good positions in the centre-backs and covered and tackled and blocked really well.
Again, a reminder, if you've joined us late, West Ham's sole goal in this game came from a Ben Rama corner. We've got one here low towards the near post. Is it going to fall for Ben Johnson? No, it's not. Lincoln clear towards Makama in the centre circle. Lincoln knocked out Sheffield United on penalties in the last round of this competition. Haven't won a game since. They've raised things for this match here tonight as Fabianski takes a lot of time there, being closed down by Dylan Duffy. He was the coolest man inside Sincil Bank.
Yeah, he almost took his eye off it slightly.
Quick throw taken by Lincoln. Ball goes behind for a goal kick to West Ham. Over on BBC Radio 5 Live. 20 minutes to go in the 8 o'clock kickoff. Newcastle still leading Manchester City by 1 Alexander Isak goal to 0. Find that elsewhere tonight on BBC Sounds, all to be rounded up in tomorrow's Football Daily with Steve Crossman. Will be available for you wherever you get your podcast from. First time tomorrow. Here though, West Ham have lost it. Dylan Duffy shoots! Good save by Fabianski, flying away to his right, because from 25 yards Dylan Duffy caught that one sweet as you like with his left foot.
Oh, as this drop to Dylan Duffy, he absolutely thunders this. It's a wonderful strike. Fabianski has to have everything about him to get in and make a save. The connection is beautiful. Looks like it's destined to go into that far left-hand corner, but Fabianski gets across really well. 2 hands, he keeps it out, but it's a great first strike.
I was going to say, why were they messing around with the ball inside their own penalty area? Because of the wind, it's much more difficult for West Ham to play it long. We have got 6 minutes to go plus stoppage time. West Ham 1-0 up, but there's another warning from Lincoln City.
Yeah, it's a great strike. It's funny, I was actually watching Duffy, again, another Irish from the 21s international. I was watching him at half time, pinging the ball, and thinking, he's got a really nice strike of it, and then he comes on and does that.
Lincoln's clearance goes straight to Ben Johnson. Danny Ings with the ball just over the halfway line. Johnson receives it back. 5 Sports Extra live from Sincil Bank. 1-0 West Ham. Ball high over the top. Not dealt with. Opportunity for 2, and that's a great save. It really is, to deny Mohamed Kudus by Lucas Jensen, flying away to his left point blank.
It is. Brilliant save from Jensen. Kudus gets a bit fortunate. It's headed back by a Lincoln City defender, and it puts him in a really advantageous position. It's on the volley, and he connects really well with it.
Lincoln throw taken quickly. Was that a foul on Makama? No, says the referee. Just another throw will do for Lincoln. And we saw from Rowan a few moments ago, he's got a long delivery too. This throw in to be taken on the Lincoln left, about 22, 23 yards from the corner flag. The crowd, most of them who are still here in the home sections, applauding their team. They still sense the possibility of a place in tonight's 4th round draw. Long throw from Rowan, and it goes towards the 6 yards line. So Czech heads clear, but only sideways. The goal scorer for West Ham tonight. That's a good ball out, and now here come West Ham. It's 4-on-2 in this counter-attack. A second goal will kill it. West Ham to the edge of the area. Cross goes in towards Ben Rama. It's a poor cross. It's cleared by Sorensen, but it's back in the West Ham midfield area. Ball back out to the right. Alvarez is there. Great game this has been.
That was end-to-end. Big clearance from West Ham. It's taken down brilliantly though, isn't it? And as they break, Souček has got 2 players to aim for, and he just hits the only Lincoln defender in the centre of the box, Sorensen, who's able to get a clearance.
Kudus edge of the area for West Ham. Back to Alvarez. Villa have got one back at home to Everton. Villa 1, Everton 2. Ogbonna inside the centre circle left side. 3.5 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Ball played forwards. West Ham keeping hold of it through Mubama. Back to Alvarez, the other substitute in the centre circle. Souček with space, 25 yards out to the right of centre. Keeps it moving to the right. Kerrer, low delivery. Again cut out by Lincoln, who have defended at times for their lives tonight. That was a clumsy bit of defending that time, though, by the substitute Dylan Duffy, awarding West Ham a free kick midway inside the half. And the opportunity now for Ben Johnson to just play down the clock a little bit.
Yeah, just West Ham should be able to just keep the ball now, pass it around, draw Lincoln out, and then, Lincoln have to try and get after them. So they should be able to push people forward. And West Ham, with the quality they have, should be able to dictate the tempo of the game and see this through. But they're giving the ball away like this. They're making sloppy mistakes, and you get the feeling that Lincoln will get one more chance.
That is the feeling that you get, given the way that this game has gone. Disallowed goal for Lincoln in the first half. Fabianski's had to make a few great saves, one significant one in either half, to keep Lincoln at bay. You do feel like there's one more opportunity for Mark Kennedy's team, who welcome Cheltenham here next Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock when they return to League One action. Will they do so, though, with an exciting fourth round tie to look forward to at the end of next month? At the moment the answer's no, because it's West Ham who are going into the hat for tonight's draw, which you can follow live on 5 Live, BBC Sound and the BBC Sport website from 10:15. Here, a Lincoln, right side of the area, still pressing for this equaliser. Ogbonna gets it clear, and now Benrahma takes it on the turn. Sorensen, who misjudged the bounce initially, tracks back, intercepts. He's arguably been Lincoln's best player tonight, Lasse Sorensen.
Yeah, he did really well there, missed it, but he's got...
Was that a foul by Benrahma on Sorensen? 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Lincoln still come forwards on the attack here. Ted Bishop's up there, moves it to his left. Ethan Hamilton, he's been closed down by 3, has his legs taken. Lincoln free kick, 30 yards from goal, to the left of centre Stephen Kelly.
You said they have one more chance. Either good delivery in or hit the target with the wind behind you, but I'd say their best free kick takers are all left footed, and this is not a favourable position for a left footer, so you feel just trying to drift this in. Just don't overhit it. Don't overhit this cross if you're going to put it into the area, because the wind's behind you. Just put it into a decent area that will make West Ham go back towards their own goal and cause a problem.
Now that it's been spotted up, it's just over 30 yards out. It is too far and too tight an angle for the shot, so it is going to be a left-footed cross that you would think. They've got 2 players standing over the ball.
It looks like Hamilton's lining this up to hit it.
Hamilton might fancy it, hits it straight into the wall that time, but Ethan Hamilton will get it back. He's got support wide of him, sends in the cross himself. Fabianski had to judge the bounce perfectly, and he did on his 6 yards line, with Jovan Makama waiting to pounce.
Disappointing from Hamilton there, because listen, I know he's taken shots on throughout the game and he has got a lovely left foot, but the angle that was at was going to be very difficult to get that open over the wall.
Liverpool 3-1 up against Leicester. Jota in the final minute. We're in the final few seconds here. Fourth official standing by with his board on the edge of the pitch. Lincoln 0, West Ham 1. West Ham come forwards, intercepted by Ted Bishop, and here come the home team on the counter. 4 forwards in this move, 3 additional minutes to play here. Is there one last chance? We thought it might come from that free kick a few moments ago, but it wasn't to be. Ball back inside the Lincoln half, slips as he clears it there. Mitchell gives it to Benrahma, edge of the D. Benrahma with the through ball. Will it fall for Ings? Cleared. Benrahma one more time. Tries to get it out of his feet, but again Lincoln scramble it cleared just about. Souček. Ball to the right to Kera. Into the first of those 3 added minutes here on 5 Sports Extra from the BBC. Souček. Ball out to the right to Kudus, who's been one of West Ham's most effective players wide right tonight. Kudus to the byline, into the area, goes down. Referee not interested. No appeals either, really. Goal kick, which is going to be taken in a hurry.
It's to be fair, Lincoln are going to be disappointed because they've had a couple of chances now to put the ball forward, put it in decent areas, and they've turned it down. You know, they scream to get the ball in the box. They brought on 3 forwards, but they're turning down opportunities to put it in behind West Ham or cause them problems. Just make it a scrappy game for the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Lucas Jensen kicking with the wind, long and high downfield. Ball falls for Kera, though, in the West Ham right back position. 90 seconds of stoppage time remain, and it's a sign of how good a cup tie this has been. Only now are a few supporters heading for the exits. Are they going too early? Mitchell, who had that goal disallowed, is away down the left, gets challenged. Throw in Lincoln right by the corner flag. They've got Sean Rowan on the field. One last chance. Goalkeepers coming forwards here, Lucas Jensen. Everybody forwards bar one player in the centre circle for Lincoln. This is it. West Ham leading 1-0. In goes the long throw towards the goalkeeper. It's headed away. Back to Sean Rowan. Pumps the cross in one more time. Headed away by Danny Ings, of all people, who's back there. Rowan one more time arrives. Cleared only as far as Sorensen. Dispossessed by Ings as we go into the 93rd minute here. West Ham have the ball back and will look to see out time now.
Yeah, just disappointing for Lincoln there, because again good opportunities to put the ball into the box. Sean Rowan, and he just flops across in. He doesn't want to put any pace in. He doesn't want to overhit it. But you need to back yourself there and whip it in, cause them a problem.
30 seconds to go. It looks like Lincoln's race is run out. But blimey, Charlie, they have got absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. They have put in a heck of a performance tonight against a team 2 T's higher than them. Is there one more chance? They've gone back to their goalkeeper on the edge of his D. The 3 minutes also are almost up. Referee Josh Smith looks at his watch. Here come Lincoln though. Ball to the edge of the area. Ted Bishop waiting to pounce on his left foot. Blocked off. No free kick. Inside the D, says the referee. That looked nailed on. Instead, West Ham come away with the ball. 3 minutes are up, according to our watch here. And there is the final whistle. What a cup tie at Sincil Bank. West Ham go through to the 4th round thanks to Thomas Souček bundling in a Saeed Benrahma corner with 20 minutes to go. Lincoln had one disallowed for offside in the first half. Lucas Fabianski in the West Ham goal made a couple of good saves in either half. Close from Lincoln, but the message from their manager Mark Kennedy will be, Stephen Kelly, you can't face a Premier League side and waste that many gilt-edged chances.
Yeah, they'd be really disappointed. Not only did they waste chances, but the goal they conceded is something that they work on week in, week out. Don't concede from set plays, that near post area, go and attack the ball. You know, for a team in the lower leagues, that's stuff that they do, that they compete at, that they make sure they don't concede from. So to give a goal away like that, they'd be really disappointed. They didn't make them work really hard from it, didn't pull them apart for great play. You know, it was a corner, so they'd be good that they conceded a goal like that, but they have to take positives from it. They created a lot of chances, and you know, in the first half they should have really got 1 or 2 goals to make West Ham really kind of worry about what they had to do. But you know, great performance, good moral victory, but West Ham go on.
For West Ham, who's pushing for a Premier League start for you there? We mentioned Kudus a lot during the commentary. 2 goals in the Europa League last week. Impressive tonight.
Yeah, Kudus was the best player in the pitch technically. When he received the ball, was back to play. He was driving from the middle of the park. He was making stuff happen. Then the right hand side as well. Benrahma was decent, got on the ball, looked lively, but his final product, that end product, I know he delivered really well for the corner, but just when he was getting in behind and he just wasn't picking that pass out, he wasn't even picking that final cross. So Kudus is the one that jumps out for me, that could start and that could have a place to play in this team.
It's been an absolute pleasure. What a game. Stephen Kelly with us here on 5 Sports Extra from the BBC. This one has ended Lincoln 0, West Ham 1, but the 8 o'clock kickoff over on BBC Radio 5 Live still has around about 10 minutes to play. Newcastle leading Manchester City through Alexander Isak's goal in the 53rd minute. Let's get the closing stages now at St James's Park with Neil Lennon and our senior football reporter Ian Dennis.